All right, we live. Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we got to get into a Lou Williams type topic. It's not really a Lou Williams. Yeah, it is a Lou Williams topic because Lou Williams was the one who was on Byron Scott's podcast having a conversation, but it's kind of a Adam Silver and somewhat of a LeBron topic because they the king on the throne when it comes to the NBA while this NBA ship is sinking, right? The ratings are tanking. The basketball product is tanking. The All Star game died. Olympics dominance died. And so on and so forth. A lot of things we're going to get into. Of course, conversation from BJ Armstrong as well. He's talking about the different eras. I think that's significant and links right in with the whole conversation behind the NBA ratings today. I want to discuss Nikola Jokic's MVP hopes this season and really kind of his team's lack of success so far. And then we'll finish it off with Michael Jordan topic. I think y'all going to like. It's going to be a good episode. We're going to take some live call-ins. We're going to look into those comments in the comment section. I know y'all going to be engaged and all of that good stuff. I think we did get some super chats that came in since last show that I want to get into before I shout out my members. I did get a super chat from, let me make sure I get this right. I got a super chat from Victor Parrott, right? And he gave me the super chat. It was a $20 super chat. I appreciate the $20 super chat, brother. And he said, great commentary and insights. Appreciate it, brother. He sounded like I think he might be a new watcher of the show, and he's just showing his appreciation, man. So I definitely appreciate that. Wayne gave me a super chat, and he's been donating to the channel tremendously over the last couple of weeks. So I definitely appreciate that. He didn't leave a comment. He just gave me a $10 super chat. As a matter of fact, no, he did. He said, "Mr. Live, we're going to catch the playback." That was last week. I appreciate that. And Posh King gave me a super chat as well. Posh King is a regular. I appreciate him coming through. He said best show on YouTube, and I appreciate that. Who we got in the comment section? I want to make sure we got. I see Grape News. I see Greg Anderson, Taco Master. Okay, so I see some of my moderators in here already. What's going on, fam? What y'all doing? What's up? Salute, Great News. Hit the like button. Yeah, just like Great News said, definitely hit the like button. Ace of Rage is in the house. Crystalline Iceberg. That like a new name. D Frequency. TJ, what up? What's up? What's good, y'all? What's good? Hit that share button. Hit that like button. Let's make sure we get max participation because I think this is gonna be a good one, and I can't wait for the call-ins for sure. Man, it's definitely gonna be a good show. And just to let y'all in on what's going to happen with Full Panel Friday moving forward for the rest of the 2024 year is the full panel had tonight off, and the full panel will have next week off, which is like 2 days after Christmas. So, of course, they had next week off. And then y'all probably won't see us again until after the new year. So it'll be in January when y'all see the full panel on Friday again. But I'm still going to be dropping some solo stuff. So y'all still be getting content throughout the week for sure. And I did get new members in this week, man. So I definitely want to shout y'all out. 2 times new member that joined under the pro level. Neil Howlett under the pro level. He just joined. Legion joined the pro level. Shades Cal joined the pro level. Giant 81101 under the pro level, and then some oldies but goodies. Savon Arnold, the Joker 687, Zeno Omega, Simply Newbie, Malachi Israel, Scott Merriweather, Ashley H. It's Not That Serious, Keith Brazell, Right Hand Cam, Big T, Doc Holly 003, Andrea Williams, James Reed, Demetrius Day, Taco Master, 33 Shuggy, Cedric Franklin, E. King, Steve Calbert, Unspoken Voices, Taco Master, Ryan Walters, WW, Shay J, my dog, my homegirl, R. Bean, Jeffrey Garrett, Funky Town, that's my dog. Shy Water Red Side, I just got your text, brother. What's up? Michael Tafoya and Wizman Ballin, man. Y'all been holding it down for us for a long time, man. So we appreciate all the members, all the new members, all the members that's been here for a while. Salute to everybody. Salute to Jay Khan in the comment section. Yeah, man, I think we're ready to kind of rock and roll. I missed the full panel tonight, y'all. You know, I wish the full panel was working tonight. But we got to regroup for the new year. So but see, I got to make sure I come in bring y'all some content because I know y'all waiting on full panel Friday, right? H Litton, what's up, brother? Yeah, but so let's get into this, right? So Lou Will was on Byron Scott's podcast. As a matter of fact, no, let's not get into this yet, right? Because I'm sorry, I still got to shout out my sponsors, man. Shout out to Cali Strong for sponsoring the show. Cali Strong, I still want y'all to go and visit their website. I still want y'all to go and buy as much merch as you can from Cali Strong, whether it be hats, whether it be shirts, hoodies, t-shirts, skateboard shoes, whatever the case may be. Go visit Cali Strong's website. And when you order Cali Strong, make sure you use the promo code Man Down Sports. You get 10% off. It might be 20% off. Don't quote me on that, but it's either 10 or 20%. You're going to get a discount when you shop Cali Strong online and use the promo code Man Down when you're checking out, Man Down Sports when you're checking out. So definitely do that, man. That's one of our sponsors, and the gear is legit. I mean, whatever shirt you buy, hoodie you buy, washing it is high quality. So washing it, you don't have to worry about it shrinking and not fitting to your body anymore. Really good stuff, quality stuff, man. So I encourage y'all to go over to Cali Strong on their website. The link is in the description box, and use the promo code Man Down Sports. That helps us out. And we also bought the U by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code Man Down Sports and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, now that it's football season, you can follow Man Down Sports as we reveal our favorite picks from week to week. Like I said before, pick your favorite player, pick higher or lower, choose your dollar amount, and win some money. It's just that easy. Make picks, win money. We also want to thank Underdog Fantasy for partnering with us, and we want to thank you for helping the channel out by using Man Down Sports on Underdog Fantasy. All right, man. Now we're ready. To go. So Lou Will on Byron Scott's podcast. I like what he said when he asked him about the state of the NBA and why the ratings may be down. You know, everyone have their own opinion. It's so many people speaking out against this. I've been talking about this for like 2 years. It's really good that the mainstream is actually starting to pick it up, you know, because before, what I think people was doing was showing their loyalty. What's up, Treehouse? They was showing their loyalty to whatever entity they was attached to, you know, whether you're attached to TNT or ESPN or you attached to the NBA because you got some type of role with the NBA, but people was kind of punching with kid gloves and not calling it out exactly what it was. You know, if you can flash back to Kevin Garnett's conversation with Adam Silver when he was like, look, man, are we ever going to bring physicality back? Is the hand check ever going to come back? Do you see a need for that? You know, he was trying to tell him in so many words, look, man, we have an issue with the NBA. Physicality is the main issue. That's the first thing you need to address, bringing back physical defense. And I think physical defense in the league right now would solve every problem. You know, every problem that we think we got, whether it's, no defense, load management, too many threes, no big man, no post up, the mid-range game is dying. Like, physical defense brings all of that back because when a point guard like Steph Curry is getting hand checked 94 feet all the way up the floor by somebody like Pat Beverly, the legs that he got for 4 quarters just running around and catch and shoot threes all day is not going to be there. You know, he's got to work to get the ball up court. They would have, if they brought back physical defense, they would also have to extend the backcourt violation back from 8 seconds back to 10 seconds. Because the reason why they took it from 10 to 8 was because once you took away all that physical defense, it wasn't a challenge to get the ball up court in 10 seconds because there was no pressure. You couldn't pressure that much without fouling, right? So they was like, let's make it a little bit more challenging. Let's give it to 8 seconds, right? You know what I mean? So, you know, just some of those rules right there, like, you know, it's so many things that was made because they put an emphasis on getting more offense out there for entertainment, right? So bringing back defense, bringing back the hand check, allowing physical defense and all that stuff, it changes a lot. Whether you know it, but it's a huge butterfly effect just from allowing physical defense, right? So that fixes almost everything. That's what Garnett was hinting to. But what Lou Willem is about to talk about is interesting, you know, because he kind of really touched on what's missing in the game and what's happening too much in the game, right? So this is how he answered that question.
What do you think about today's game now, as you sit back and you kind of analyze it as a former player and a fan?
Oh man,
let me throw this at you too, because the ratings for the NBA is down.
Yeah, I would say let's get back to where our best players are being creative again. I think we've allowed science and analytics to have too much of a say in how we play this game. What makes basketball a beautiful game is on a given night, you can watch an Anthony Edwards and a James Harden compete against each other, and you watch two different styles of play clash, and they're being creative. They're doing things that you never seen before. They're recreating the game. And then when you put analytics into it, that puts them as the same guy. You know, if they're both going to shoot 10 threes a night, 10 to 15 threes a night, where is that creativity? When does that shine? So I would beg for some of our I'm gonna start with management, because a lot of teams, they hedge a lot of their bets on the analytics. Let's allow our players to be creative again. You know, analytics is great for a reference point, but for it to be your playbook, for it to be your blueprint, how you're gonna go about things. Like, our greatest players in the game are mid-range assassins. We've taken the mid-range out of the game based on numbers.
Right. Right.
You know, and so where are those guys? Like, where does a DeMar DeRozan fit in this conversation? You know what I'm saying? Where do those style of players fit in today's game? Like, so you telling me these teams shooting 40 and 53s a night, DeMar DeRozan don't have value? Like, I watched him hit 5 straight mid-range jumpers to win a game 3 weeks ago, and it was like, where is that? Like, you're not seeing it.
Right.
Then you got the foul game. If you're up 3-5, I'm gonna ask you that question because I absolutely hate that shit with a passion.
What, foul when you're up 3?
How you feel about that?
I never did that.
Why would you foul this? But this is an analytical thing.
Yeah.
What?
So he's speaking to analytics, right? So what the analytics really do, you know, for people that don't remember when it first started coming in there, you know, into play, what analytics really did, you know, they did a lot of things. You know, it started looking at things mathematically, looking at trends, trend analysis. Like, imagine going from an old school guy like Pat Riley or an old school guy like Eric Spoelstra, you know, because he was a film guy before he got a head coaching job, right? Imagine one of the Van Gundys going through film work of the past 10 games, right? To find a trend of an opponent they're about to play next week, right? So just imagine this. Imagine it's my job to watch film and bring to the head coach some type of trend or whatever plays they're running, you know, so we can come up with a formula on how we're going to defend it, and we can put that into practice, right? You know, before the game, right? So, that's the normal way to do it. Let's watch film. Let's watch their tendencies. Okay, they run this play. They like to run this play out of coming out of timeouts. They like to run this play for game winners, or this is their bread and butter. They're basically their best play, and they got maybe 2 or 3 counters just off that play. So this is pretty much what they run, whether they're running horns or whether they run the Princeton offense or whether they run the triangle offense or whether they run some type of motion or whether it's predicated like screen and roll like Utah Jazz, Stockton Malone. What is the base of what they're trying to do, what player they're trying to utilize, or whatever the case may be. So that's what we're looking for. Now imagine that guy that sits and watch that film 10, 12 hours a day for you. Like, he's the film guy. He's watching all this film so he can narrow it down to a much smaller sample size to give it to the head coach and say, this is what I found and this is what I think you should look at. And it makes it very easy for the head coach to actually look at and be like, all right, this is what I want to do. This is our game plan, right? Imagine that. Now that's a guy that's actually watching the film. Now imagine you come in and it's a guy that don't watch basketball that says, I can make that process much easier. And he comes to you, forget the film. We ain't even watching film. I went and I crunched the numbers and the analytics, and I came out with some type of pie chart. And I can tell you, when they shoot the mid-range, they're about 40% from the mid-range. But when they shoot the 3, they're about whatever percent. And when they go in the post, they're what this is the success rate in the post. And based on analytics, you come up with your game plan. That's what analytics is doing, right? That's what analytics is doing. Look, I'm gonna give you this pie chart. Here's a pie chart. You go through this pie chart, and I'm telling you, if we keep doing this, we'll have more success, because the pie chart tells us that we're 55% successful when we do this, but we're only 50% successful when we do the other way. I don't like that, because that don't account. First of all, if let's say you play 10 week teams, the first 10 games of the season, all the teams are non-playoff teams, and you build analytics based on those tendencies. Hey, look, man, when we run high screen and roll with this guy and this guy, we got a 75% success rate, right? But that's based off of 10 non-playoff teams. Now you got 10 playoff teams in a row on the road coming up. And the analytics guy is telling you, we need to continue to run high screen and roll with these 2 guys because we have a 75% success rate with those 2 guys. So that's your game plan. That's not a basketball guy telling you something. That's a numbers guy. That's a analytics nerd telling you how to operate your offense or your defense. I think that's insane. So this is what Lou Will is talking about. He's talking about, like, look, man, we've allowed that in the game. It was a Trojan horse. We don't know how we let these guys in. Dale Morey, how he keeps getting GM jobs, I have no clue. He does everything based off analytics. This man told a first ballot Hall of Fame man, Carmelo Anthony, we don't want you to shoot mid ranges no more. As a matter of fact, we don't even want you to shoot 2s no more. Only 3s and layups. That's what they told Carmelo Anthony when he showed up with the Houston Rockets. They had Melo, CP3, and Harden. They couldn't make that work. Told Melo, you can't shoot the mid-range no more. Only drives to the hole for layups or 3s. That's it. That's all you can do. Catch and shoot. If you get the ball at the 3-point line and you got a crease to shoot it, you better shoot it. Or you better drive for a layup. You can't take a dribble into the 3-point line and pull up a long 2. We will pull you out of the game for that. D'Antoni and Dale Morey absolutely coach and GM that exact same way. That is insane. How do we let these guys into the league? How do they get positions like that? Right. So Lou Will is speaking to that, right? So that's one thing. The analytics is ruining the game, right? Then he said this.
Like, allow me the opportunity to show you my greatness.
Right.
This is why I'm coveted as one of the greatest defenders. Like, we don't know. I could ask you right now who's the top 10 defenders in the league. We
have
will
no
be
idea.
hard. We will be hard pressed to find 4 or 5 clean cut guys that you'd be like, they lock down defenders, because the creativity is lacking in the game, where the offensive players are not showing who they really are, because the analytics are running a lot of the game. And on the flip side of that, you don't even know who's the defenders, who's the lockdown guys, because it's just an up and down game where we shooting a bunch of 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's why the viewing is down. It's too much of the All-Star game feeling, you know. It's
like
too much.
that.
It's
I
too
like
much
that.
of an All-Star game feeling where you got guys coming down, chucking up a 3, 4 or 5 seconds into the shot clock. Like, hold on, let the play develop. Let these special guys be special. Allow them to show us their greatness. Instead, we just got guys chucking up shots, and then we get to the fourth quarter, and now you don't have any guys that with crunch time ability outside of Boston, like Tatum and Brown.
Yeah,
they love the last 4 minutes of a game.
Right.
they love a last 4 minutes of a game. They still got that mentality. Around the league, it's been an overcorrect since the Steph Curry Golden State era.
Mm-hmm.
There was because they were so dominant in the way that they played, for you to feel like you even had an opportunity to beat them, you felt like you had to match fire with fire.
Yeah, you got to play like them.
So he's making a good point, right? Threes, jacking them up. It looks like a all-star game in the first 2 quarters. And it's not entertaining. It's not competitive, right? If your goal is to get as many threes up as possible, because the analytics says when we shoot 50 threes, we win more often than not, and you're basing your play based off that pie chart or that bar chart or that line graph, right? Like seriously, man. Like how do you feel as a basketball guy who came up in the trenches of playing basketball? Like, you grew up on a playground. Like, there's no analytic pie chart on the playground. Like, how did you play on the playground? A lot of intensity. You wanted to stop your man. You wanted to score on your man. You wanted to, demoralize him. And you do that however way you need to do it. If you got a mouse in the house, you go on the post. If you got an elephant on you on the perimeter, may I have this dance? I'm going around you. But I just don't understand for the life of me how you coach shoot as many threes as possible. Like what Charles Lee is doing in Charlotte to LaMelo Ball is insane. LaMelo Ball is playing exactly like Luka. This dude is shooting about 13 threes a game. It's working. He's averaging almost 30. He's getting numbers, but his team's not winning. You get what I'm saying? Like your offense is supposed to be complementary to your defense, just like a football game. Right? If you got a really good offense, let's put it this way. Back in the days when Pittsburgh and Baltimore had those amazing defenses, those A+ defenses, right? If your defense is the best thing on your team, you got to have complementary offense, right? So if your defense is really, really good, you want to keep them as fresh as possible. You don't want to put them in a situation where you're getting off the field 3 and outs and your defense is coming right back out here to try to defend, because now you're going to overwork your defense. You're going to tire them out. And then eventually they're going to start giving up points. So when Baltimore had those great defenses with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Moose in the middle, Saragosa, all those Boware, all those great linebackers and great D tackles, right? Edge rushers. When they had that great secondary, McAllister was back there. When they had that, they also had a really good offensive line that blocked really well for a really good running back in Jamal Lewis. Quarterback wasn't that good, so they wasn't trying to air it out and just throw for millions of yards like in the Peyton Manning offense. They had Trent Dilfer at quarterback, and there was a long, grueling, drawn-out football game where they're pounding it with Jamal Lewis between the tackles. And every now and then they'll pass, smart passes, right? And, Derek Mason was their receiver. You can't really name a lot of other receivers. They had Shannon Sharp at tight end. Other than that, there was the targets. There was a lot of Jamal Lewis coming up the gut, right? So that offense matched that defense, because now we can stay on the field, we can milk clock, we can run the ball, we can keep the clock running. You know, we're not throwing a lot of incompletions. We're tiring their defense out with our run game, pushing them backwards, and then we, you know, going over behind the linebackers when they creep up with Shannon Sharp and Derrick Mason, right? Strategically, right? Once we get up 10-0 like that, we done held the ball with strategic running and all this stuff, and we got the ball first in the first quarter, and we held it for 8 minutes. Had your defense on the field for 8 minutes, just running and running and running, consistently getting first down, touchdown. And then you come out and our defense is so good and so fresh, and you can't score on us. Even if you don't turn the ball over, a 3 and out is just as bad. Now you punting it back to us. We got field position and we're doing it again. Once we get up on you 2 scores, it's over, because we ain't even really got to pass no more. The defense is so good. Jamal Lewis running the ball and running behind our blockers is so good. You're not ready to catch up. That's what Baltimore did. Pittsburgh was kind of the same way with Jerome Bettis and all the defense they had. So in basketball, right, if defense is something that you are even interested in, it would behoove you to come down. Like, remember when the 90s, when they came out and they ran their offense through their big man in the post, whether it's David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Patrick Ewing, Shaquille O'Neal, Rick Smits, Charles Barkley, Chris Webber. I mean, the list goes on. Rasheed Wallace. The ball went in the post. Kevin Garnett. The ball went in the post to those big men. And even if you had a guard that was a big guard, Penny Hardaway, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the ball went in the post to them, right? It was different. We didn't just come up and jack up a 3. The way coaches thought back then is that 3-pointer that you took with 20 seconds on the shot clock, 18 seconds on the shot clock, we can get that same exact shot with 3 seconds on the shot clock. So we can actually run offense and see if we can get something easier in the mid-range or in the paint or in the post. We can try to do that twice before we get to the shot that you just took from 3. That's how we thought. Like, don't jack up a 3-point shot with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. We still got 15 seconds to figure out if we can get a more high percentage shot in the paint or in the post or in the mid. Can we get to the free throw line? Because if it's quarter number 1, quarter number 2, right, I'm thinking about, can I get that best player in foul trouble? Can I get that second best player in foul trouble? I'm trying to gain an advantage any type of way I can. I can't force you to play defense and possibly get you in foul trouble by jacking up 3s. But if you switch the screen and you end up with a mouse in the house on my big man who's very capable in the post, I got to throw him the ball down there, because now you got a decision to make. Do you want to foul him or do you want to let him get an easy deuce? If your best player is LeBron and Jokic sets a screen and LeBron switches and Anthony Davis ends up on Jamal Murray, but LeBron ends up on Jokic, Jamal Murray should not take that opportunity to say, may I have this dance, and clear the paint and go one-on-one with Davis because he's a guard that's quicker than he is. No, the answer is you throw the ball in there to that post player in Jokic, because I have LeBron on him, and LeBron has to make a decision. Do I want to play him hard enough where I possibly might get a foul? Or do I want to play him weak and soft where I possibly give up an easy deuce? That's the decision you want them to make every single time, right? But they're so guard oriented in this offense and the way they play in this era of basketball that only thing they think about is how can a guard either get to a 3 or how he can get to a layup. They just don't even regard the big man unless you're Jokic and Embiid. Those teams still go down low to their big man. But everyone should be playing like that, but everyone's not. Everyone is copycatting the 3-point. Yeah, Kevin Dorsey, we're live, right? I'm gonna open the phone lines up real soon, right? So the other thing I want to point out is the leadership in the NBA. When David, and it's very funny that the name actually reveals the attitude that the commissioner had in the NBA. David Stern was very stern, right? He didn't play nothing. Everyone knows you don't play. David Stern would kick you out of his league. He didn't play. David Stern wanted things done his way. David Stern told Iverson, you need to cover your tattoos up with an arm sleeve. David Stern told the entire league, those baggy clothes and coming pregame dressed like a thug is not happening on my watch. Everyone will be wearing a suit, right? David Stern had Rasheed Wallace not even being able to talk to referees without getting a tech. He was stern. He was going to have it his way, right? And that's how he ruled. He ruled with an iron fist. He was very stern. That was his name. Adam Silver is exactly what it sounds like. He was after the shekel. He was after the silver. He was after the money, after the coin. Adam Silver only has the coin on his mind. Because right now, it's so many players, Shaquille O'Neal, Lou Williams, it don't matter who it is. They're telling you, Garnett, they're telling you the league is trash. Obama even said it. The league is trash. We don't want to watch that BS. We don't want to watch it. Change the game. And every single time someone complains about the game, Adam Silver comes back with another gimmick. We're complaining about the product on the floor. The way they play the game is what we're complaining about. But then he comes back and was like, you know what? I got a solution. I'm going to go ahead and force y'all to play 65 games because I don't want load management. Nobody care about load management as much as you think we do. We care about that when we actually turn the game on, not that Embiid is there. It's just the fact that when we turn the game on, it's not entertaining. We don't want to watch it. There's no competition. Competition is entertaining. Running up and down the court, shooting 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 is not entertaining. So it's not about if your stars are sitting out. It's about that your product sucks. So again, he didn't address the problem, right? Someone said he tried to put a Band-Aid on the bullet wound. I disagree. He didn't even look at the bullet wound. He's trying to get you to ignore the bullet wound by breaking your finger and then hoping that you feel that pain and you ignore the bullet wound in your arm. If he would have put a bullet wound on the problem, he would at least try to address the problem. He didn't address the problem. He went X-way and was like, hey, shiny object, look over here. 65 game minimum for you to get an award. That didn't work. What about the in-season tournament? We'll do an in-season tournament. Maybe they'll be interested because we're giving them an incentive to compete early in the season because everyone was saying nobody's watching into the playoffs. So let's do an in-season tournament at the beginning of the season. Maybe people watch. No, they're still not being competitive. You're trying to force feed people to be competitive. You're not addressing the problem. Well, what about a play-in tournament? Let's change that. That didn't work. Well, how about we change the format of the All-Star game? That didn't work. Oh, it's not going to work. They haven't even done it yet, but they've changed the format of the All-Star game like 4 times in the last 6 years. Oh, we'll take it from East and West, and then we'll just say, hey, look, man, how about the captains just pick their teams? Trash. None of that is working. He's trying to do all of these gimmicks and not address the problem. And the reason why he's not really addressing the problem is because only thing he's thinking about is the money. And in his mind, I can hear all the fans complaining, but at the end of the day, I'm looking and we're making more money and more money. So is there really a problem? I don't care that the ratings are down. The money is up. We just secured an $11 billion contract with the networks that we just signed with. It can't be an issue. Adam Silver, the shekel, the coin, the money. It's all he's thinking about. And who else was on this throne? The self-proclaimed king? LeBron James. The NBA died on LeBron James' watch. He was on the throne. He was the king. Right? We give him credit for all the good things, but we don't mention that the NBA died on his watch. The All-Star game died on his watch. The Olympic dominance that we once had died on his watch. The product on the floor died on his watch. Competition died on his watch. The big man died on his watch. Positions died on his watch. The mid-range game died on his watch. LeBron James will leave the game of basketball when he retires, and he's going to leave it worse than what he found it when he first came in. You can't say that for no other superstar. Larry Bird, Shaq, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, any player in the top 10, they can't make the claim that I made the NBA worse during my playing days. I found it in one state, and when I left the league, it was at a worse state. Only LeBron can say that. Everyone else enhanced the league. Everyone else enhanced the league. They didn't make it worse. Right? Adam Silver tried to reinvent the wheel, and it didn't need to be reinvented. He inherited an NBA from David Stern that was already operating and working well. He got greedy and saw opportunity to reach an untapped market overseas, and an untapped market with people that didn't like basketball. That's some greedy shit right there. That it's greedy for you to have a rib shack where you sell pork ribs, and you say, I'm getting millions of people who love pork coming to my rib shack, but there's an untapped market of vegetarians that I want to grab as well. And you change all your pork ribs to impossible ribs, impossible pork. It's fake pork now because you want the vegetarian market. Why the hell? Just be happy with the people that love pork buying your ribs and just continue to sell real pork. You changed the entire league to fit what the casuals who don't like basketball, and made it entertaining for them. And the fan base that you had that grew your league of basketball lovers are turned off by the new product. You can't sell pork ribs, change it to fake pork, some tofu pork, some impossible pork with no bone, and say, man, hey, man, come get it, vegetarians, and then expect to keep all your pork lovers. That's what Adam Silver did. He got a league that was working, that was full of basketball lovers, and he said, I want the casuals. So I'm going to change the game. I'm going to legislate defense out. I'm going to make different rules where scoring can be an all-time high. I'm going to fabricate things. I'm going to create. I want the European market, so I'm going to change the game so European players can dominate. I'm going to do all of this just so I can grab this untapped market that'll bring more revenue. But now you got Rihanna, who don't know nothing about basketball, just all of a sudden in love with the NBA. That's what you wanted. But the diehard fan is suffering, and the diehard fan is complaining, and part of your diehard fan base are your former players, and they're complaining the most. You can't pay all of them. You can't give all of them a job and tell them to shut up, protect the shield. You can't do that. So they're going to continue to talk. And this is what we all have noticed, and the talk is going to continue to go on. So that's what it is. But this bleeds into my next topic, right? And I rolled through what BJ Armstrong said as well. And then I open the phone lines up, because this just goes right into this era of basketball versus the era of basketball that I think was the peak years, that I think was the golden era of NBA, which is the 90s to the early 2000s, right? Mind you, LeBron came in 2003, 2004, right? So he caught the tail end of it. But I think, like Dominique Wilkins said, Kobe Bryant was the last of a dying breed. He said Kobe Bryant was like them. Dominique, Bird, Magic, Mike, Kareem. He said Kobe was like them. And they don't make him like that no more. Right? So not at the superstar level anyway. So that era was the golden era. And BJ Armstrong spoke on it. And he was on Dan Patrick's YouTube channel. I think Jim Jackson has a podcast that is on Dan Patrick's YouTube channel. And he had BJ Armstrong on as a guest. and they spoke about this, and this is what BJ said.
Okay, let's get out of the business of the media and all of that. Let's just, be a couple guys like you and I are just talking. Now, we all know, because of our backgrounds of playing professionally, right? And a lot of people doesn't have this perspective. We know that the rules were different. The rules currently now are different. The travel is different. The refereeing is different. So it is an unfair comparison to say who is the greatest, because everyone's not playing by the same rules.
Right.
Let's make that clear. That it's impossible, right? So what Oscar Robertson and the late Bill Russell and the late Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, it's unfair to compare them to today's players, because they were dealing with a different set of circumstances. Equipment is different. The sneakers are different. The gymnasiums in which they're playing, the travel, food, training. There's so many things that we can throw into the equation before we start saying who's the greatest. In order to have an accurate assessment of that, everyone's got to play by the same rules. Now, just a simple rule when you and I play, impeding of progress. It's a big thing, Jimmy. That's a big thing. So imagine I can still remember in 1994, 95, when you and Jamal Mashburn came to the United Center, and Jamal Mash put a 50 on us, and then you put a 38 on us.
Right.
And that was with like hand checking. Okay. So we know that the game is different. You and I weren't shooting threes irresponsibly like we see the players are shooting today. We weren't playing pace and space. We had to throw it into the big guy, get to the post, and then we operated out of that. We had to do things. It was a different time. So when I hear these comparisons, they're great for the barbershop. They're great for TV. They're great for debate. They're great for all of the things that we love about the media. However, because of we were fortunate enough to play, we both know that was different. So it's an unfair comparison. I admire these players today for the era that they're playing in, but let me assure you that if Jimmy Jackson and I saw you and I played against you, I know you were a 25 to 30 point scorer easily in this era, because I saw you in the previous era. Okay. And that era was a little different because they were hand checking. Right. It was a little bit more physical. I'm not saying it's better. It was just a different game defensively. People weren't switching. Like they're just, everyone switches now. You'll come off a screen now and a guy 5'11" would be guarding you. Well, a guy 6'6" couldn't guard you. I know if a guy 5'11" was going to guard you on a switch based on your skill set and how you played. So it's a different time. It's a different era. And I always try to appreciate the eras in which, players play in. And then you look at it and say, now, which do you think would transfer from one era to another? These players, without question, could have played in that era, but let me assure you, it was a different time. Just like if you played in today's era, it would be a different time. So, I just try to look at it holistically, but it's a fun debate. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy people's arguments, though.
So here's the translation, because he said a lot and he was trying to be political a little bit and not say too much, right? And not really lean one way or other, but he was giving you the innuendos. And basically what he was saying is the way we played in our era with physical defense, with hand checking and all of that, he gave an example. I know Jim Jackson would be a 25 plus point scorer in this era because I seen him score that same amount in our era with more defense and more opposition with the hand check and the physical play. That's common sense, right? If I can score 25 consistently, if I can average 25 in the 90s with the hand check, with physical play, with an era where we championed defense, where the opposition was tougher, then if you give me no hand check, no physical play, or less physical play and less opposition and weaker opposition, why the hell wouldn't you with that same game be able to score 25? Right? So that's one thing he said. The other thing he said is like, the debates that we have, and he didn't say GOAT debate. He just said any debate where we're crisscrossing errors. He said we have it because it's fun, it's good for the media, it's good barbershop talk. But we know, like, seriously, there's no competition. That's basically what BJ Armstrong is saying. Like, come on, let's be real. Like, a player from the 90s averaging 25 versus a player now averaging 25, it's not the same. All fans, all former players know that, if they're being honest. Right? That's just common sense. So I take it a step further and say, knowing what we know with the 90s to early 2000 era being tougher by way of allowing defense, physical defense, and hand checking, I would take it a step further and say that the best of anything, the best scorer, the best defender, the best shooter, the best player, the best team, the best coach, it don't matter what you think of in basketball, in the NBA, the best can't possibly come from the worst era, the weaker era. It's not possible. The era where the commissioner has admitted that I have legislated defense out of the league so I can let smaller, more skilled players flourish. And he gave the example of Steph Curry and said that I don't think having a bigger, stronger guy dominate Steph Curry defensively is good for the fans. That's not good to watch. So I'm going to call the game and create rules, or either just give guidance to the referees to not allow a certain thing or to allow a certain thing. That way, Steph Curry could have the advantage, or any scorer or any more skilled player that doesn't have the physicality would have the advantage over the guy like Ron Artest. Ron Artest couldn't stand a chance against Steph right now in this era and these rules. And Ron Artest is one of the best defenders we've ever seen in the NBA, and he wouldn't stand a chance. Right? So it's impossible for me to say that Steph is the best shooter or the best point guard, because I know he wasn't going against real opposition the way Magic or Ray Allen was. So the best point guard for me is still Magic. The second best point guard for me is still Isaiah Thomas, right? And then we can start the debate at number 3 with Steph Curry, Oscar Robertson, and guys like that. But Steph is just not a straight up number 3. Oscar Robertson has a conversation for that. So Steph and Oscar can have that conversation. And if Mark Price would have stayed healthy, if Mark Price would have played in this era, he would have been Steph Curry or better. That's how good Mark Price was, right? So that just goes to show you. And I want y'all to not just, have a hissy fit about me saying Mark Price could be just as good as Steph Curry, if not better. I want you to go and do your research and watch some Mark Price full games. Watch his highlights if you need to, but before you can form a conclusion, I want you to watch his full games. And you tell me how good Mark Price is. And you tell me if he don't look the spitting image of Steph Curry in a tougher era, in a tougher league. Not a league where they're saying, well, we want to give Mark Price the advantage. Adam Silver has admitted to that. We're going to give Steph Curry or guys like him the advantage because it's better for TV and it's better for the fans. But what fans is it better for? Because I don't like it. So what he's saying is better for the fans who don't really like basketball, but they just like excitement. So let's give them some excitement. Let's create excitement. Let's make it easier for Steph. Let's make it harder for the defenders to defend Steph. That's crap. That's trash. So yes, the best shooter, the best scorer, the best team, the best player, the best coach, all of that can't come out of this era. It's impossible. The harder era creates the best player. The toughest environment creates the best, whatever the case may be. Right? That's the thing. Right? I'll leave you with this before I open the phone lines up. And I want you to think about the best era versus the weaker era. And I want you to just look at this in your mind as an analogy. Let's say you got a whole pot of soup and it's good, and you got another whole pot of soup that's bad. And I want you to take a bowl for each pot, and I want you to scoop out some soup out of each bowl. Is it possible that the worst pot of soup can create a bowl better than the best pot of soup? I don't think that's possible. A bad bowl or a bad pot of soup is going to create a bad bowl or a bad tablespoon. It don't matter what you try to grab out of that bad bowl or that bad pot, it's going to be bad. Or it can't be better than the best pot of soup. So it's the same thing for the eras of basketball. If the 90s to 2000s is the best era of basketball that we've seen, it was the peak. And we can admit that this era is weaker. Even the commissioner has admitted that he made it weaker. How can you scoop out the best team out of the worst era? Or how can you scoop out the best player out of the worse or weaker era? How can you scoop out the best coach out of the weaker era? It's not possible. Right? So if you want to fix the NBA, unfortunately, you got to turn back the hands of time, and you got to bring back whatever you was doing in the 90s and early 2000s, and you have to implement it into this league now. Right? So with that, I open the phone lines up, and we'll take some phone calls on this topic, and y'all let me know what y'all think. Can you get better out of the worst era, or is that impossible? Is that impossible? Chris, what's good, my brother?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's your thoughts, man?
I agree with what you said, except for the Steph Curry thing. You was kind of tripping on that one, dog.
Okay.
Steph is that dude, man.
Okay.
You got to put some more respect on him, man. He changed the game.
Well, actually, Adam Silver changed the game for Steph, and he
ruined the game,
and he said that out his own mouth. So I'm wondering, would Steph be Steph if Adam Silver didn't create an environment that allowed Steph to be Steph? Because last time I checked, when Steph was in college, Mario Chalmers in Kansas and freaking Brandon Rush ran him off the floor in the Final Four. Mario Chalmers hit the game winner. Steph missed the game winner.
I get it, man, but Steph, come on, man, stop it.
I mean, what are we saying? Is this not the worst era of basketball?
It is, boss. That's not even a discussion.
Okay, so how can you get the best of anything out of the worst era?
I mean, the first thing they got to do is fire Silver. He's the worst commissioner in sports. He's the worst commissioner. Until they get a commission, it would take, if they was to put somebody new in charge, it would take them damn near a decade to fix that problem that the NBA has. That's how bad it is. Like the league is so bad that it wouldn't be fixed overnight. Correct. Even if he did say, okay, we can do the early 2000s, it still wouldn't fix the problem.
Not overnight. You're right, but you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet. So unfortunately for him, if he did say, look, man, we can't go down this road no more, man. And he told his referees, we're going to call the game the right way. We're going to call it the way we called it in the 90s. We're going to allow physical play. And only thing we're going to change in the rules is we're going to allow hand checking even when you're dribbling. We're going to allow it. Only thing that's going to happen is you're going to find out that Jokic and Luka is not that good. Steph is not that good. LeBron is not that good. KD might not be that good. And you're going to find out that You're gonna find out there's a lot of players in this era right now that can't even touch a basic all-star. Like it's going to be superstars in this era, like Anthony Edwards, that you're going to figure out is not even better than Glenn Rice. You're gonna find out that a player like Devin Booker is not even better than Allen Houston. You're gonna find out that LeBron James is not even better than Brandon Roy
or Charles Barkley.
You're gonna find, or Karl Malone. You're gonna find that out really quick. You're gonna find out that Steph and Mark Price is closer than what you think.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I know you're gonna have some people that don't like that, man, but that's a strong point, man. You're right about that.
And that's what's gonna happen.
Do feel like,
yeah, but you got to allow that to happen just to save the league. You got to allow that to happen to save the league. You got to.
They're not gonna do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. Yeah,
they can't even get these dudes to retire. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph, they can't even get them dudes to leave. They can't let them leave. I think they don't want them to retire because they don't have another guy.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Zion. I think Zion just didn't want it. He didn't want to be that guy. It was supposed to be him. He didn't want it.
I don't think he was good enough, bro.
I mean, if you take away Zion's athleticism, he's not an NBA player. But it was still the hype around his name that he was still supposed to be that guy, just like the LeBron effect. Adam Silver ruined the league with the player empowerment thing. He doesn't drug test the players anymore, so they can get high. They get guaranteed 4 or 5 year, $300 million contract. They're getting guaranteed money, whether they hurt or whatever happens after they sign that deal, they have to get paid.
Right.
So you letting these guys get high and paying them all this money, what do you think is going to happen? You don't see too many players like AI. AI came from the hood.
Right.
These are players that AI is a guy who really had to work to get where he, especially at his size, pause. A lot of these dudes in the NBA now, these are middle class. They already middle class. They got money. So it's insane, man. I don't know how Adam Silver pulled that big deal off that he pulled with them getting $1 billion. How much? 75 billion.
Yeah, I mean,
from the networks.
It was no, I don't know if it was 75 billion, but it was double-digit billions for sure.
I don't know how he pulled that off, man.
Well, this is why I think he pulled it off, right? So Vegas is involved, gambling is involved, a lot of other things are involved as well. So these networks already got Vegas and the networks like Amazon, they've already figured out how they're going to get their money back, right? So they already got their part figured out. So Adam Silver done good business with that, but he's not caring about the product on the floor because he was like, look, man, I keep putting these games on these networks. They keep paying me for it. They're getting their money. Business is booming. He can care less about the product on the floor. Business is booming. As long as Vegas can continue to get y'all to play y'all parlays and y'all bets and do all that stuff, man, we're going to get our money back. Vegas is going to get their money back. We're going to rig games when we need to rig them. It's all a business. It's all business. They good at the top level, the owners and Adam Silver and Vegas and Amazon and whoever else made a deal with them. They're good. The money is flowing. NBA got their money and they're going to get their money back on the back end, right? They got their part sold up. Now, as far as the fans, do we really need y'all? We already got the contract for another, 10 years, 7 years, whatever that contract was for. We're good for another 7 years. We're good. So we don't really have to do anything to appease the fans. We don't really have to, right? But we can pretend like we're doing it. That's why he keep not addressing the real problem, and he keep giving you gimmicks, trying to make it seem like he's trying to fix the problem. This man had the nerve to go out and say that he's investigating the 3-pointers, the plethora of threes that teams are taking. He's investigating. How the hell you investigate that? Like, how long does that investigation take, and how much money are you spending on it? You're investigating the threes. You go blame somebody for the threes after the investigation. Hey, they go come back. Hey, Adam, we found the culprit. Come on, man. Like, make this make sense, bro. You investigating the amount of threes that teams are taking. Like the teams got in the cahoots behind his back and was like, hey, man, we go sabotage the league and just take 53s a game. That's not what they're doing. They're saying the way that they're calling the games and refereeing the games, we can manipulate it by doing this, because it's not a game. It's not a real basketball game no more.
Nope.
Right? If you do a 50-50 mix of offense and defense, that makes it basketball. But if you take defense out of the equation and it's 75 offense and 25 defense, that's not basketball. That's just offense. You're not even allowing people to play defense, so we can't even see real basketballs. But I mean, I'm off my soapbox, man. Your thoughts, man?
I feel like, man, out of all the years, man, I say this is the year that I really haven't been watching basketball, man. Like, I just can't get into it, man. It's not interesting. It's not intriguing. I mean, most of the time, if I do watch it, I'm watching the highlights. Nobody is sitting in this generation, and this is what Adam Silver needs to figure out. Nobody is gonna sit for 2 hours and watch a bunch of players throw up threes.
Not at all.
You gonna if you want to keep it this way, he's gonna have to find a way to lessen the minutes per game, lessen the season, which to me is bullshit, because those dudes back in the day, they loved playing 82 games. They wanted to play. They hated when they got hurt. Michael Jordan played with the flu.
Facts.
It won't no call out. They won't calling out of work, man. And they didn't make excuses for it either. I remember when Gary Payton said he messed his leg up when he was playing in the finals with Jordan. He ain't making an excuse for it. He played. He said we lost. And these players just don't. They just don't care for the game, man. And it's sad, man. Just seeing where the NBA is, man. I swear, man.
It's not.
I love the
NBA basketball is not our sport no more. It belongs to somebody else. I don't know who it is. I don't even know if they're domestic or in America. Maybe it's just the overseas crowd, but it's not our league no more. Right? They're not even listening to our complaints. Like we've been saying for years that we don't like the product on the floor, but somebody like it somewhere. And I mean, put it this way: we just watched Casanat pack an NBA arena with a league that he created against 8th graders. And that's what those same kids that enjoyed watching Casanat play that tournament are the same kids that enjoy watching Bronny James get on the floor against in the Lakers uniform. So that's the new audience that they're trying to appease. They're looking at us like, man, we got y'all locked in. Y'all been watching us for 30 years. Y'all not going nowhere. Whatever we put on this floor, y'all go watch in some capacity. Only thing we're thinking about is this next generation after y'all. The people that watch Bronny James and Casanat, we got them on lock. We got them on lock. And that's what they're thinking about. They think they're forward thinking. But what they don't know is just like the economy in 2008 when the bubble popped and the housing market crashed and all that stuff. There's a bubble that's about to burst for the NBA. Everything is ballooning, more money. Players are making 50 mil a year now. And it's going to get to the point where with this new contract that they got for all these billions for, players are going to be allowed. I think Luka, when he signed his extension, man, this man might be close to 100 mil a year. Eventually that bubble is going to burst.
And then how they gonna do that? And then they got this new clause that's saying teams can't they can't go over the cap no more. So now if you give Luka $100 million a year, who's gonna play next to him? Because y'all can't go over the cap.
Bro. Telling you, man. And that's why when they seen that coming, that's why Mark Cuban and Michael Jordan sold their teams ASAP. They said, nope, I'm out. I already see what's going on. Look, hey, Mike was looking and was like, man, I gotta pay LaMelo Ball what? And Mark Cuban was like, I gotta play Luka what? Yeah, let me go ahead and sell this team.
Hey, the Celtics did the same thing.
Yep,
you see that owner, he gave that team up.
The Celtics team. Hey, what owner win the championship and then put his team for sale? The Celtics owner was like, I'm out. I gotta pay Tatum and Brown what?
300, 400 million?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
no.
Hey, good
For
luck with
Zingas,
that.
100 mil.
Oh yeah. Good
Holiday,
luck with that.
100 mil.
I'm not doing it.
No.
Hey, it was nice while it lasted. Hey, these dudes are getting out of the game, bro. They selling their teams. Mark Cuban, and the owner of the Celtics. I'm glad you brought that back. I forgot the owner of the Celtics. Did he sell it yet though, or is it still up for sale?
He sold it before the championship.
Lord have mercy.
They ain't even get it yet.
Lord have mercy, man. That's crazy.
I think Brad Stevens, he already run the team.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
but I'm gonna let somebody else hop on, man.
All right, brother, man. Thanks for the call.
No.
All right, let's get 2 more calls in, man. Lord have mercy, man. Y'all see, y'all wasn't paying attention to those owners were selling those teams like that because they knew what was about to happen with the CBA, and they knew was what they was gonna have to pay their superstars and stuff like that, and their all stars. Caller from Alabama, what's up? Make sure you got YouTube cut off in the background.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. What's going on? What's your name?
My name is Siobhan. How are you?
First time caller, right?
Yes, first time caller.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Siobhan. I hope you're subscribed as well.
I am.
All right, thank you so much,
I caught you on a good night.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are this. I agree with everything you and the previous caller have been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy? I don't know if you remember this, but I think right when David Stern was getting ready to retire, and they were talking about who was going to be the next commissioner, or who they voted to be the next commissioner.
Right.
Do you remember Rod Thorne?
I do remember Rob Thorne. He was the guy that was like in charge of all the Olympic. I guess what Grant Hill is doing now, Rob Thorne was doing.
Right. You know, he was the one that was against Adam Silver getting the commissioner job.
Really? I didn't know that.
He was not for it.
What did he say?
I think it was him and maybe a few others, but he was adamantly against it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you know, just watching how it's been for Adam Silver as the commissioner since 2014, I want to say.
Something
so the
like
last 10 years. It hasn't really been good. It's like you said, he inherited a league that was already cleaned up, dressed, everything from David Stern. So he came in and he really didn't have to do anything but just try to find a way to keep making money.
Correct.
Because that's what it seems like. He's just more like about the money aspect of the NBA than he really cares about like the actual fans of the NBA who's been with it since, you know, forever. And also Adam Silver, he's always been a players commissioner.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I like Adam Silver though. I like him, but he's just making a lot of mistakes with the direction of the league and, you know, things I think they made changes to, and, you know, but in his head, it's just about the money. Right.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know if that's always been his MO. I don't know if he's ever really cared about, how do I put this? I don't think he has. Well, he probably does, but maybe he chooses not to use it. He doesn't have that wherewithal like how David Stern had it. He's not a no nonsense type of commissioner.
That's true.
And he has let a lot of things, like a lot of players, get away with a lot of things that we know.
That's true.
David Stern was not going to let that.
So this is my thoughts, though. At least it seemed like David Stern's either or both knew about basketball and cared about basketball.
Right.
It don't seem like Adam Silver knows about that. It seems like he's a good businessman. And I could easily see him taking over WWE in the absence of Vince McMahon. Like I could easily see Adam Silver saying, all right, I'm done with the NBA and get a job with the WWE. Right. I think he's just a marketing type guy, a businessman. You can see all of his decisions, like every solution that he has to fix what's going on with the NBA, all seems like some type of marketing gimmick. And he misses the mark every single time. And I say this, the last thing I say is I've never met a guy that's in the public eye who last name had something to do with money, who also didn't just think about money, like Creflo Dollar, Adam Silver.
Yeah.
Everybody who got money in their name is really about money. And that's it.
And that's interesting that you said that. So I wonder quickly, because I forgot, who was the commissioner of the NBA before David Stern?
Nobody knows. I can't even remember.
Nobody knows. Because whoever he was, he did a terrible job, obviously. I mean, because for David Stern to have to come in and just clean it up the way that he had to do it, and that took time. You know, we know how prior to him coming in 1984, it was basically a drug-infested league. So nobody took the NBA that serious, the way that they took Major League Baseball and the NFL.
Correct.
Or even the National Hockey League.
Correct.
So, you know, David Stern really had to like turn it around. And I don't think the generation that's watching now, or I would even say like I'm a millennial, but I'd like to say we're like split because I'm like an early millennial in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't even think the other half of millennials really understood what David Stern really did for the NBA as his commissioner.
He did a lot. He did a lot. He took it from the grave to almost heaven. Like he did a lot for the league, and so did Magic and Larry Bird, and so did Michael Jordan. Did a whole lot. But I appreciate the call, Siobhan. And look, listen, your call ID said Alabama. You don't sound like you from Alabama.
I'm from here. I'm actually from the deep south of it, Mobile.
No way. So you went and moved somewhere else and assimilated, because I don't hear the country. You actually sound like you got teeth. And excuse anybody from Alabama. I'm just saying.
But look, I'm not a Crimson Tide fan.
Okay. Okay. Roll Tide. All right. Roll Tide. My bad. All right. You ain't Roll Tide.
No.
All right. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. You're not one of them. All right. Got it.
But thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Let's get one more phone call. Alabama, y'all. Alabama. You know, it don't sound like Alabama. It sounds like North Carolina, something like that. I don't know. My brother Greg Anderson. What's up, big dog?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, Mel, you in violation, man. Get down on Mobile, Alabama. That's where my father's from, bro.
Hey, why you say Mobile? She didn't say Mobile.
That's what she said. She said Mobile, Alabama.
She said Mobile?
Yeah.
I ain't hear that.
You in total violation, man. Get down on that's where my old man came in from, man.
What he sound like when he talk on the phone?
Man, super country. He's from the
so you get what I'm saying. Did she sound like she was from Mobile, Alabama?
No, she didn't, but you ain't gotta stereotype all people from the deep south as country, man. Come on now.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Roll Tide.
Hey, look, man. I had a few thoughts, man, because man, they game banging in your comment section. There's a brother on there, man. Henny Hardaway. I shouldn't even put his name out there, but man, brother man sounded like he thinks that Creflo Dollar a better leader than Martin Luther King. So,
hey, but you know what though, Greg? He's not gonna call in.
He's not. He's just gonna troll in the conversation.
Exactly. He's not gonna call in. He's not gonna call in.
Hey, look, me and my partner was having a conversation a couple of years ago, and his wife was talking about something that she was reading. And like this NBA problem is just more than an NBA problem. It's kind of like a societal problem.
Okay.
Like this is the first generation that is on pace to do worse than their parents' generation. You know how like we always get better as a society because it's like this generation is entitled. They think because you know how these kids now is. Remember back in the day, you used to grow up or whatever. Your parents took you off of some fast food or something like that. That's a treat. Now they think that's a dinner option. They like Chick-fil-A, Chipotle. They think that's a dinner option or whatever.
Lord,
so this is kind of like a societal problem. And like the poster child for that, Mel, is your boy Anthony Edwards, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. He is like, cause I can't use Zion because Zion ain't even in the league no more, man. Like he's about to be out the league in about a year. But like Anthony Edwards, like I'm watching his game. I want to give it to him because he sounds a part, but he doesn't play a part. Like they comparing him to Jordan, and he don't have that mentality. I remember
dead.
Yeah, that's super dead. Cause look, when Mike was in 88, 89, Mike used to attack that rim relentlessly. He might have shot 1-3 a game, if that. And the rest of the time he was at the free throw line, shooting 50-something%, averaging 32, 35, 37 plus. Man, Anthony Edwards, look at the last 2 years. So the last 2 years, last year he shot 20 shots a game. This year he shot 20 shots a game. But this year he's shooting 10 threes and averaging 26 points and only 4 free throws. Last year he shot 19 shots a game. He shot 13 2-pointers and 6 threes. And he averaged 26 a game. So you taking 4 more threes and you don't average no more points.
That's crazy.
And you're not putting the pressure on the defense. You're not getting people in foul trouble, so which will open up the game for somebody like Conley. You can't touch him. Your big man, you can't touch him. And just get you into the penalty earlier. He the only one on that squad that got that ability, but he don't unleash his superpowers by just shooting 3-pointers all day.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And he said he made it a emphasis this year to shoot more threes. I'm like, dude, why?
Yeah. But you know what? You know what? Remember Mashburn was telling a story about like when MJ was on his way out the league, like how he taught him things about his game, how to get points and how to do better. And
correct.
Man, I think Anthony Edwards going down there on Team USA had an opposite effect on his game.
Yeah, because he looked at Kevin Durant and Steph and how they shot the three, and he was like, man, maybe I did, but that's the direction the league is going in. I mean, look at Boston. I mean, Tatum and Brown and White and Holiday and Porzingis and Al Horford, they shoot a lot of threes, but this is the thing that people don't get through their thick skull, right? They got this mixed up with Golden State as well. Golden State shot threes, but it was really just Steph and Clay shooting a lot of threes.
Correct.
Every now and then Matt Barnes, but for the most part, Draymond, Iguodala, Bogut, David West, Sean Livingston, those guys, Leandro Barbosa, those guys got to the rim and got to the mid range, and they locked up on defense. Like what helped them win the championship was defense. Same thing with Boston. Yeah, they got guys that can shoot the three, but every guy that shoot the three are locked down defenders. Holiday, Horford, Porzingis at the rim, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, right? Derek White. They all are very, very, very good defenders. That's what's making them win so much. It's not so much the threes. So it's teams out there that's just like, oh man, we put these threes up and we should win, and they don't have the defense, and their best player don't either. Like Luka in Dallas, Yeah, you can try to put them threes up. You can bring Klay Thompson in and help with the threes, but your best player can't defend.
That's true. That's true. Hey, you know what? It's something that you said in there. You said that he's sitting up there and he's modeling like Kevin Durant. And just think about like he down there with Kevin Durant and all of them. Just think about it. He down there with Kevin Durant, Steph, and LeBron. These are three guys that they all in the same game. KD joined the 73 win team. LeBron got more super teams than the NBA history. And that's who he's drawing from. But just think about like this next generation, because now you start listening to like some of these guys that's in high school or early in the NBA, their GOAT is PG-13.
Correct.
So imagine how much worse it's going to get in the next couple of years.
Lord,
it's not going to get better.
No, it's not. It's
yeah.
not.
So, I'll take your comments off there, man. I just want to just chime in with, like, man, this the league is just it's unwatchable. It's unwatchable. Like it's sometimes I'll be out. The only time I really make it a point to watch basketball if I'm out and the game is on. But I'm not going. A lot of times I'm like I'll watch pieces of the game, or I don't watch it at all. I can't watch a full 48 minutes of a 3-point contest.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You don't even know what offense they. Well, you do know what offense they. 5-man out, high screen roll. That's everybody doing that. Everybody.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna take the comments off there, man. Good show so far.
All right, thanks, bro. All right, we'll take that last caller that was from Georgia, that 404 area code. You can call back. Man, I feel bad for people who just start watching basketball, like, you know, people that's like 25 and under. I feel bad, man, because y'all didn't get to see Kobe or MJ or Bird. Oh my goodness. Y'all didn't get to see them dudes, man. Y'all didn't get to see that era of basketball. Man, phenomenal. And you can learn from it. Like you can learn so much about basketball by watching the 90s and early 2000s, where some of the best coaches come from that era. Grabbing a coach that played in this era of basketball, like JJ Redick, they don't know what they're doing. Like, you know, who like J Kidd, he was from the 90s, early 2000s, you know what I mean? Great coach. Darvin Ham as well. It's just a lot of guys, you know, that come from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. That is still a leader in basketball as far as coaching and having a mind for it. But these new dudes, good luck, man. Caller from Georgia, what's up?
Hey, what's good, Frank?
What's up, man? Who this calling?
Just anything and everything.
Okay, what's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, hold on, I'll get to my thought in a second, but yeah, I just subscribed to your thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been peeping you and stuff. You know, I kind of like your content, you know, and stuff. So you know, I'm a big fan of what you do, you know, and stuff like that. So keep up the good work.
Okay, appreciate it.
But yeah, as far as NBA today, like I've been in one of your other videos and stuff you done arguing about because I mentioned N1. You know how the N1 basketball was?
Yeah.
And how NBA is. It's like N1 is entertainment, and I think Adam Silver went to say, okay, well, they out there doing all the dribbling and stuff. Let's focus more on just, you know, 3-point shooting, whatever it was. But something happened. And they need to go back to, you know, original basketball. People, like, I'm 46, right? So I like basketball. I want to see block shots. I want to see defense played. I want to see nuts in your face. You know what I'm saying? People getting dunked on, the whole 9 yards. I don't know. I stopped watching basketball when LeBron went to. I'm a Miami fan. Like, I'm from Florida, but I stopped watching basketball like for real when LeBron went to Miami, because it took all the fun out of the game. Like, I want to see people complete. I want to see people. I want to see the best players play. You know, I want to see the 80s and the 90s basketball. That's what I want to see.
Correct.
And the way Adam Silver done it, he's thinking the younger generation is gonna keep watching it. No, the younger generation is too busy watching Instagram and being on OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to take care of the older people that's been around, in those eras, and stuff like that before he want to take everything out of the game. So that's why the ratings and stuff, and everybody is telling him this from past NBA players, the whole 9 yards. LeBron would never be Jordan. We only seen one Jordan, and we only seen one person trying to be like Jordan, and that's Kobe. Which he became the nearest thing to Jordan.
Correct.
LeBron would never be the GOAT. It don't matter if he stay in there 30 years. He would never be the GOAT. He still hasn't passed Jordan, in some stats and stuff, but he been in there seven years longer than Jordan.
Mm. Yeah.
Like people don't realize, like, yeah, he broke Kareem record. Yeah, Jordan really only played 13 years. It say 15, but he really only played 7 games one season, 25 games one season.
Correct.
It's not a whole season.
Yep.
So he really played 13 seasons. And LeBron still haven't passed him. And he in his 21st season?
22nd.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah.
So it shows people, as far as like the LeBron fans, like, y'all need to just calm down and really watch what everybody said about Michael Jordan, and watch what everybody, not me, not the fans, watch what all the players say about LeBron, and watch what all the players say about Jordan.
Correct.
Best basketball was played before 2000, best basketball played.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would even say early 2000s, probably up to like 2005, maybe.
Real early.
Yeah,
you right. LeBron came in 2003?
03, 03. Yeah, so he got the end of it. So he got a little piece of it. It started changing, man. He's the king of the driving kick offense. Right?
I literally had people arguing with me about and one was real basketball, and Mark Jackson them made it to the league and stuff. And I'm sitting, I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, look, I said, and one is entertainment. They ain't calling no technical foul. They ain't calling no carrying. No, none of this and that stuff. Like, people get offended when I'm like, and one is a New York kind of thing. It's not around the country. Y'all do that stuff up there. We play, like, I'm from Florida, live in Alabama, lived in Georgia. We play real basketball here. Yeah. Not all of this carrying and all of that mess.
Yeah.
And when he made the lead, he really took the offense out of the game and defense. Because now you see it's no offense. Everybody just one person got the ball. Everybody else just standing around at 3-point line. No offense whatsoever. No movement. You might have somebody setting the screen and rolling. That's NBA
it.
Right now.
You don't even have to practice that. You don't even have to go and practice with the team to run that offense at all.
Exactly.
You don't. You know what I mean? So
like you don't have nobody playing defense. How many times? Which I know the answer to it or whatever, but look at how many times you had people winning Defensive Player of the Year. Now they give it to different people now just to make it seem like people playing defense. You ain't playing defense, all you doing is just switching. That's not defense.
Yeah.
How many steals do you actually see? None.
Well, you see some.
Unless
some people still trying to play defense out there. I give them that.
I'm not gonna give them that, because just because somebody make a bad pass, that don't mean it was a real steal.
I mean, I get that, but Kawhi, he continued to play defense. Bam Adebayo.
No, he don't, because he not even. I don't want to argue with you, bro. But
it's cool if you disagree.
No, we're not disagreeing, but just hear me out. it's hard for Quad to play defense if he ain't even on the court.
Of course. I agree.
But you might have Giannis block a shot or two. You remember back in the day, just the other question. You remember back in the day when you had at least, you got 20, you just say, 28 teams, 30 teams, right?
Right.
And when you had at least one person on every team at least having a block, some players, good defensive players or whatever, got 2-3 blocks, average 2-3 blocks a game. You don't see that now. Now you gotta be 7'5", and that's the only way you get blocked. Go, I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. You gotta be 7'5", and somebody just happened to come in there with a weak layup and you block the shot. we used to. I'm saying, like, in the 90s, you used to see people coming in there trying to dunk on somebody, and it's like they got hung on the rim. Like, people really played defense. You had point guards coming in there. Kevin Johnson. The little guys coming in there dunking on people. Yeah, now you only see who? You used to see Westbrook. Now you see Morant. Them the only two little guys going there and try to dunk on somebody. But back in the day, everybody used to try to do it.
I can't, you know what? I can't dispute that. I mean, it's a little bit of truth to some of what you said, but I appreciate the call. I got to move along.
Go ahead, bro.
Seen some people in the comment section that said they want to call in. I think one of them was Henny Hardaway, and the other one was let me see who these other guys is. Hey, thanks for the call though, but let me get to these guys. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it was I think Thomas Clark said he wanted to call in. Henny Hardaway, Oliver Jackson. Yeah, and Lance from the Bay. I'll take y'all phone calls. Ronnie from Ohio, what's good?
What's going down, G?
What's up?
All right, man. Look, I'm gonna try to tie it all together
Okay.
based on something that the other lady had said. The young lady that called in, she was talking about the first commissioner, and I can't remember his name, but she was saying that he was a bad commissioner.
Right.
And I agree. See, but this is what a lot of people are missing. See, you only as good as the tools that you got. See, so like there was no money in the league back then.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of issues going on, not just the drugs and stuff. There was a lot of issues going on back then.
Right.
So by the time he went away, Stern comes in, and comes Michael Jordan.
Right.
So now you got this peak while he's running the league. Now you got money coming in. People investing. People calling, hey, I want a piece of this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, I don't think, at the time, there wasn't enough money for them to really play the game like they doing with LeBron, like they could with Michael. See, these are two different types of men.
Okay.
See, when you dealing, and it's not LeBron's fault, but when I say this, but when you are, when you face to face with a man who was raised by one, negotiation is different. So when it came to someone like LeBron James, by the time he came in, they already knew what he was going to be. I mean, LeBron was good enough to already play in the league when he was young, which is what really got their attention anyway. Like he 16, whatever, he can play now. Sheesh. He can play in the league now. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they was already setting everything up to lock him in to play this whole game that you're seeing today. You know what I'm saying? Because you brought up something earlier about he took all the positions away. And you're right, he did, because they focused so much on him, not understanding that he's a neutral type player. He is a hybrid. He is every position. He is a piece of every position. And you can't have a player like that on a team where there are roles. That's why he only does good with just spot up shooters. Right. People that just get you, they open, hey, put that in, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? But that's not. But you can't build a great team around somebody like that. But they did. I don't think that they even understood or even focused on the fact that when you're moving that way, what the effect of that is going to be, and that's what we're seeing. It took away everything because everybody tried to mimic that. Everybody catered to what LeBron and everything, and Clutch and all that stuff was doing, and that's a whole other story too. It's all about money. That's all it is. They focus more on money than they did the game.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100% what it is. I mean, you
know what I'm saying. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all it's about is money, and that's another thing too. When I was the last time I called, when I gave all the questions, I don't know if I should do that again or not. But but I'm just saying because it's all connected to money, and that's why I think Magic Johnson left the Lakers. He realized like it's all this catering shit. This is all about paper, man.
Yeah.
See, they expanded the league out to China and all this other, you know what I'm saying, all these other places. Now we got all these foreign players coming in and they playing the game correctly. But see, they're not really focused on trying to like for instance, Wembanyama. I don't think they really trying to they don't feel like they really trying to package him as the next star face of the league. Not to me.
Well, part of that is on him though. I mean,
no, but that's my point.
If you 7'5" and you trying to play like KD on the perimeter, that's your fault. Where's your advantage at? But then again, maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe he can't stand in the paint that long for 82 games of a season without sustaining some type of injury. So maybe he doing what he can do. I mean, maybe he just can't survive down there, down low. But if I'm him, I'm in the post all day long.
Oh yeah, if I'm him, I will be down there too. But see, I think the league I think they just looking for that next. I think they looking for something that they can lock in before they get on the court, like they did with LeBron James. Like that Nike deal, that was something that was already done before. That's a deal that was done with the NBA and Nike way before they ever sat down with him and said, "Here, this is $90 million." They had discussed that whole deal as far as we got this young kid. He's young, but in a couple more years or whatever, he's coming. Don't worry about a thing. Adidas, Reebok, don't worry about them. You got it. Nike, y'all gonna get the deal. The question is, what are y'all gonna pay up to promote y'all shoes of him on our court? This is different than Michael.
Yeah.
Because see, Michael, we're not gonna let this get away like Michael did. We learned from the 90s. Yeah. So we gonna lock him in, but y'all gotta give him an offer that he can't refuse, regardless of who he go talk to. We don't care if he go talk to Reebok and Adidas. We know he gonna go do that. Yeah. But we know how this business works. As long as you put the right number on there, you got it.
Yeah.
So just get ready and don't worry about it. He's gonna go to Cleveland. We already set that up. Everything's good. He already know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great story to tell. The problem is that LeBron fucked up because he showed who he really is when it came to clutch. When it came down to that big stage, he showed what he was. Yeah. But then that's when they started to really push that whole MJ LeBron shit.
No, for sure.
Go back and look.
No, you're right. But
look, I pay attention, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you get to some other people, bro, because I ain't gonna preach too long. I'm just gonna put a little flavor in there.
All right, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for the call.
All right, bro. Thank you.
All right, the last two calls have to be someone who don't agree with me. Right, that's the rule. So let's get somebody in here who don't agree with me. Let's hear the other side of this spectrum as well. So somebody who don't agree with me, call in. I want to get two of y'all in here really quick before I move to the next topic, but let's at least get one disagreement. One disagreement. What's up, Corey Ross? Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, thanks, man. People help me. People that are members to the channel help me with this setup. People who donate to the channel. Everything that I get donated via Cash App or via the membership, I put right back into the podcast. Whether it's me upgrade my equipment or upgrade my my background. I'm always doing something to make the whole experience better for the people who make this thing worthwhile. So you can shout out all the members for that if you like to set up. they help create all of this, man. But so we don't get we got a lot of disagreements in the comment section, but I guess they don't have phones. Or do I need to put the phone number back up? I'll put the phone number back up. Let's get 2 disagreements. There's a lot of them in the comment section. A lot of them in the comment section. I don't bite. You can call. You can speak your mind. We can agree to disagree, and then we can move on. You don't have to just be in the comment section with Twitter fingers. You can actually use your voice. That's what it's made for. Dial that phone number, call in, and everything you've been saying in the comment section, you can put into 2 minutes of a rant, and then we can go about our business. But if you don't call, then I'm gonna just have like Thomas Clark, Henny Hardaway, everyone who said they was gonna call. What was my man Bay Area? Yeah, I got cold feet. Dang, let me get to the super chats then. It's not that serious. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Hey, Mel, excellent analysis on these topics. I appreciate it, brother. Another $5 super chat from Sports Facts. The NBA should be celebrating Celtics, Tatum and Brown, celebrating Curry and his dominance with the Warriors. That's a good point. All right, so it don't look like we're going to get any. We might have some bravery. Caller from California, this should be a disagreement. If not, we might have to push you to the next segment for a call in. Who's calling? Caller from California. Who's this? This man got an Obama phone. Last call for alcohol. Caller from California. What's your thoughts?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Hey, this is Thomas Clark.
Perfect. What's going on, brother? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and just say I appreciate your show. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I just want to just tell everybody, the NBA can make money and all that, but it's just very tiring hearing about LeBron and all the drama that started all this crap.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that. So, what's the solution? What's the solution if we don't talk about all of LeBron and his drama? What do we do?
Well, with the Adam Silver and everything, people stop watching this because of the All-Stars, no competition, no slam dunk, no everybody getting paid too much money, not loving the fans. That's the problem, not loving the fans.
Yeah.
People stop watching this. I hate the NBA right now. No competition, no slam dunk, no everybody.
You still got your YouTube on in the background.
I'm sorry.
At least mute it.
And I just want to let everybody know, just thank you for all your support, what you guys got going on. And I just pray for a better NBA. That's all.
All right, that's a good call, man. I appreciate it, Clark. All right, thanks, bro. All right, one more disagreement. I thought he was a disagreement in the comment section, but Oliver Jackson, the number is on screen. Right there on the bottom of the screen. There's the number. And all its glory on the screen in purple. It says call the show, ! And then the number is there. And then my brother Greg Anderson, who is a longtime listener and supporter of the channel, who also has a ranch because he's a moderator. He just put the number in there for you as well, sir. There it is. I give you 10 seconds to call that phone number. If not, we're moving on to Nikola Jokic. Yes, Lord. We'll let you figure that phone number out and call in with your disagreement. If not, we're moving on to Nikola Jokic. 5 seconds now, and 4 seconds, and 3, and 2, and 1, and we're moving on. Anything is everything. Thanks for joining us as a new member, brother. I appreciate it, man. We appreciate our new members here. We give our new members content. We try to give it to them once a week with a bonus episode that only the members will see. And I think we did drop one last weekend, and we will be dropping another one this weekend, bonus content for the members only. So thank you for being a member, brother. Let's move on. Boy, that phone number is eluding a lot of people. Boy, y'all are getting y'all tail whooped. Nikola Jokic stat pattern was called out by Kendrick Perkins 2 years ago, or was it last year when Joel Embiid won the MVP? No, 2 years ago when Joel Embiid won the MVP. And he brought a lot of that to a lot of people's attention, but people don't believe that Nikola Jokic is stat pattern. My definition of stat pattern, if you're doing anything unnecessary, you're only doing it for yourself. You're doing it for stats. And it's very unnecessary for a 7-foot center that weighs 1,017 pounds, slow as molasses, to be running the point position for his team when he has a very capable point guard in Jamal Murray who can not only score but also can run the point. He only had 1 turnover last game, 10 assists, very capable of running the offense as a point guard. And then your backup point guard is Westbrook, who's known for his assists. So not only is your point guard that starts capable, your backup is capable. But for some reason, Denver prefers for 7-foot, 1,017 pound center, slow as molasses, to run the point guard for them. And inquiring minds want to know why. I already know the answer. He's padding his stats. He wants those assists. If you stop recording assists, I bet you Jokic just stop running the point. And so will Luka. If you take, and probably so with Westbrook. Those assist numbers are very self-serving. An assist sounds like a very unselfish thing to do. I'm helping my teammate score the ball by passing him the ball. But we glorify assists. And sometimes we glorify assists more than the actual scoring of the points. If Jokic passed the ball to Jamal Murray in the corner, or Michael Porter Jr. in the corner, or if he throw a lob to Aaron Gordon don't get credit, or he don't get praise for jumping 40 inches in the air and catching a lob and doing a 180 while he catch it and dunk it. He don't get credit for that. They credit the assists. They say Jokic did that, and Aaron Gordon wouldn't even have those 2 points if it wasn't for Jokic. Jokic is doing everything, and he has no capability of scoring a basket without Jokic. Whatever baskets he scored in Orlando don't matter because it didn't happen. He can only score because of Jokic. Forget the fact that he actually averaged more in Orlando than he averages in Denver. He can only score because of Jokic passing. And Michael Porter Jr. can only score because of Jokic passing, and so can Jamal Murray. Forget the fact that Michael Porter Jr. was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school, and despite having back surgeries in college and not playing out one game, he still was a lottery pick. And if he was healthy, would have been a number 1 pick in that draft. Who can score in his sleep? Forget that he's that good of a scorer. We're going to praise the assists. And that's why Jokic runs the point. He's stat padding, and it's caught up to him, and Denver can't win that way anymore because they don't have a stacked squad that can bring Bruce Brown off the bench and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope starting or coming off the bench, and Jeff Green coming off the bench, and all these great role players they had coming off the bench that made Denver what they were when they won their championship, right? Let's go and ignore the fact that you let all those players go and now Denver is not looking as good, we're going to blame Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray and say they're trash now. That's what the Jokic fans are doing. The Jokic fans has turned into LeBron fans. Just like when LeBron was getting all these assists and running the offense and playing point guard, no one else can get an assist in this offense except LeBron and his co-star. Those are the only people authorized in this type of offense to get an assist. Everyone else is just there to stand around, shoot threes, set screens, and play defense for them because in most cases, they're not playing defense on the other end. And they always blame the helpers. The third option gets to blame the most. In that offense, when LeBron ran it in Cleveland or Miami, Kevin Love and Chris Bosh caught the most heat whenever they lost games. It'll start with Kevin Love or Chris Bosh, the third option. He's not doing enough. The only reason why he can score is because LeBron is feeding him. Forget the fact that Chris Bosh elevated himself to a top 3 power forward at his position when he was in Toronto and led Toronto the playoff runs and was an all-star. We forget about that. Forget Kevin Love was a franchise player in Minnesota. Being a third option and third wheel in the offense where your best player has got the luxury of either scoring at will or being the only player authorized to get an assist in the offense while everyone else just get what's left over. And you're going to blame the third option whenever things go wrong. That's what they're doing in Denver. They're blaming Michael Porter Jr., right? Let's listen to Gil's Arena talk about this.
Is the Nuggets championship window still open?
Nuggets?
The Denver Nuggets of Denver.
As long as they got Joker.
Yeah, I'm going to say, once they
I just don't
they have
believe
a
in
shot.
the other people, though.
Nah.
It's over.
I watched last night's game like, from the beginning. They were up like damn near 20-something. Like
it's too slow.
They had their heads down. No, Sacramento had their heads down. Like it was over. Like all it took was 2 shots and they would have quit. And what Denver was doing just didn't look.
They don't look good.
They don't look good anymore.
It don't.
Like Jokic is they taking the ball out. Jokic just bring the ball up the court now. It just doesn't seem to.
Do they need to move somebody?
Nah, they just trying to make Joker win.
Or they just going through something right now?
Joker do everything.
You know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
Joker the point guard now. And making sure you get all them assists.
You know what it is? I think everybody got paid. Everybody got paid and everybody became the fat cat. Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's how it looks.
Okay.
Right?
Like we already got one.
Like Jokic literally is out there and he's the only, like, we know you out there. But now it's like he's trying to do everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Motherfucker get a rebound. He ain't even looking for the point guard no more. He's just fucking, come on,
They get too much range.
Like, it's just
LeBron.
It just seems like he's just.
I mean, yeah.
Like Murray is not looking. I mean, what Murray did at the end, right?
You don't do that.
You know, like perfect basketball, right? Like, okay, you had a horrible game. 4th quarter, you took over. You know, but everybody else, it just don't seem like they're not clicking. It's just little things that just like, y'all just
lost. So does he have the ball too much?
Though.
Huh?
He has the ball too much in his hand, Jokic?
They lost a couple key pieces.
You think it's too like static because of his, the stats and triple doubles and all that? Like, that could be a factor where the ball sticks. Like, it could be just sticking too much.
It seemed like when he's like the years he's getting closer to the triple double, they're winning less.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Is it the numbers, the stats, the noise about becoming one of the greatest bigs ever?
Everything but
all these other things.
Y'all saying everything but stat pattern right now.
It's too efficient.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too efficient to say stat pattern.
No.
Everything but
No,
stat
you
pattern.
can't say.
Because if he's bringing up the ball, that's a lot. If he's bringing up the ball, that's
because you say you said he's too efficient offensively. Because that's it. Rebounding.
56% from the field.
Yeah, that means nothing. That has nothing to do with That has nothing to do with patting your stats.
Yeah. 51% from 3.
That has nothing to do with padding your stats. But like, did that kick in when Westbrook was doing rebounds? You're talking about his shooting percentage because he's rebounding and going to get a rebound. That has nothing to do. Like, he's more offensively better than Westbrook is. So
yeah. But 56% from the field.
And he's just
shooting
closer shots.
It seems like that's the guy I would want taking those
So
shots.
to answer your question, yeah, it's
over.
It's over?
Yeah.
He's doing everything.
And
Like,
they
it
just won
don't
in
look.
2023.
So yeah, the net of it is yes, it is over. That one is closed. I've done a show where I talked about superstars who are one ring superstars. Like there are some superstars that are really good, but they don't reach the echelon of a Michael Jordan or a Magic Johnson or Larry Bird of a Kobe. Those guys are on another level because they were so good that the historic run that, I don't know, Giannis, Luka, Dirk, Jokic, Iverson, J Kidd, all of those superstars that were good enough to, Reggie Miller, good enough to get their team to the finals once, maybe twice, right? And win one, sometimes not even win, like in Iverson's case, but in Dirk's case, he got there twice, he won one. Those superstars, like, you have to be on another level of greatness to have a run like that to get your team there multiple times and then for you to win multiple times, right? So when building your team a normal way where you are a superstar and you get a co-star and you get role players built around you and your co-star, you get a good coach, and then y'all see how many championships y'all can get with that group. That's what the Bulls did. That's the normal way to do it. LeBron tried to do it that way, and he realized it was hard, so he went and created a new way where you go and get a super team. That was something that superstars didn't do until they were at the end of their greatness, the end of their prime, and it was like, this is my last chance to try to get a ring before I retire. That's what Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce did. That was like, man, we've tried it Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson's way for 12 years or 10 years. And we just have to admit we're not as good as them. We can't get it done their way, right? So at the end of their career, with a little bit of prime left, they say, okay, I do it the unconventional way just so I can taste what it feels like to be on a championship team and get one ring. That's what Garnett did. So Garnett is on the same level with Dirk, Malone, Barkley as power forwards. And it's obvious that Tim Duncan is on another level because they all tried to do it the same way, and only Tim Duncan was able to do it for multiple years, right? Jordan and Kobe did it the hard way. Larry Bird did it the hard way. LeBron cheated the game because instead of him staying with Cleveland and for 10, 12 years and really it made it obvious to everyone, oh, he's not like Mike. He's not like Kobe. He can't do it that way. And then at the end of his career, he go and get his ring, his one ring. It would have been obvious and easier for us to decipher who the greatest player was. But he confused everyone by doing it an unconventional way. He didn't wait toward the end of his prime to go join a megastar and another megastar. They did it while they were still at the beginning of their prime. And they was able to get a couple of championships. And now we're confused because we're like, oh, shoot, man, he got 4 rings if you count that bubble. Well, shoot, Kobe got 5, man. But no, it's not the same. If I run a 100-meter dash in 10 seconds and then you run in 11 seconds, but you did it on a skateboard, it's not really the same. You took a shortcut. So I can't even use your time to really measure it with a player like Kobe or Michael Jordan or Larry Bird. You can't really do that. So why am I talking about LeBron doing it that way? Is because Jokic is obviously a one-ring player. He's a Dirk. He's a KG. He's a Barkley. He's a Malone. He's not a Tim Duncan. He's not a Hakeem Olajuwon. He's not a Larry Bird. He's not a Magic. Jokic is not on that level. And we're seeing that now. Giannis, Jokic, Dirk, LeBron, Wade, Steph Curry, they're all one-ring superstars if they never cheated the system. If LeBron and Steph never cheated the system, if KD never cheated the system, they would get their one ring or their one appearance in the finals. Luka, either one ring or one appearance in the finals. You're that type of guy. You're not the type of guy that can continue to get there back to bike to bike to bike. That's reserved for the MJs, the Kareems, the Kobe's, the Larry Birds, the Magics, Tim Duncan. Those are different type of guys. Tier 1 guys, tier 2 guys. Jokic is a tier 2 guy, right? And it's becoming obvious, right? But now Jokic fans are starting to be like LeBron fans, because now they're saying, let's blame everyone on his team because Jokic is so perfect. If it's not working, it's got to be his teammates, right? So instead of just saying it is what it is, this is the type of guy he is, they're saying, no, this can't be. We got to get him some more help, just like we said about LeBron. LeBron needs help. He needs more superstars. And now they're talking about a lottery pick in freaking Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. is not good enough to help Jokic. And they think Zach LaVine is better. And the issue is not that Michael Porter Jr. is not good enough. The issue is in this type of offense where you have your best player doing too many roles on offense and then he suck on defense. You got Jokic playing a point guard role when you got 2 point guards that are all-star level point guards, one of them a Hall of Fame level point guard. You got 2 of those guys, and you still letting 7 foot, 117,000 pound Jokic run the point. Why? You only play hero ball if someone needs to be saved. Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray don't need to be saved. I don't need your assist. I can score. Without your assist, I can score. Actually, I can help you score. I'm a real point guard. Michael Porter Jr. do not need no one help getting a bucket or getting a high percentage shot. He can score. Michael Porter Jr. got capability where he could play like KD. He could play like Paul George. He could play like Kawhi. He's good. He's a 6'11" Klay Thompson level 3-point shooter with ball handling skills like Kevin Durant, with size like Kevin Durant, and can get to the hole. But guess what? When you're the third option in the offense like this, like Chris Bosh was and like Kevin Love was, you don't get a chance to have offense ran through you. We don't get a chance to see your full capabilities. We can only see Jokic full capabilities. And when he says is Jamal Murray's turn, now Jamal has the permission to do it. It only extends from co-star to superstar, superstar to co-star. Those are the only 2 players in this type of offense that got freedom. Everyone else is restricted to one role. Either you setting screens or you're a floor spacer. And Michael Porter Jr., his only job is to catch and shoot threes. Every now and then he might pump fake and get to something else like a layup or a mid-range, but they're not about to post him up when they see a mismatch on him. They're not going to run offense through him. They're not running him off no screens. He's just there to catch and shoot. So how can you ever blame a guy who has a restricted role in the offense and don't give any blame to the guy who got 100% freedom in the offense? And then you actually think that when Zach LaVine comes in, that's going to get better. So you trade MPJ for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is 6'6", MPJ is 6'11". So now you lose some of your rebounding and your shot blocking ability because Lord knows Jokic can't block no shot. As a matter of fact, the reason why Simons in Portland hit the game winner on him last night is because Jokic, he didn't even jump to even try to attempt to contest the shot. The dude hit a layup for a game winner. and you got a 7-footer that rotated in the paint, and he didn't even get his arms up to contest the shot. How do you let a game winner happen on a layup, and you got a 7-footer that rotated over, and all he did was jump at him for a game winner? That's the difference between Jokic and Embiid. Embiid would be all the way at the top of the backboard trying to block that shot, almost at the detriment of his own body. I've seen him do it. He's a real 7-foot shot blocker. He's a real defender. 7-footers are supposed to protect the rim. But all Jokic ever do as a defender is bump you with his titties, and hopefully they don't call the foul. I'm going to bump you when you go up for a layup with my titties. It's just like a little titty bump. You know, he just dance. I don't know what he is. It's like a little dance. He titty bump you and then look at you like, oh, you go call that? Hopefully they don't call it. Watch him when he switch on screens and the dude try to get around the corner and get a layup. All Jokic do is titty bump him and then act like he didn't do nothing. That's his defense. He ain't never blocking the shot. He ain't never jumping because he can't jump over a phone book. I'm being facetious though, but look. The defense is not given. On offense, he's got all the freedom. His role players have very little freedom. But they blame MPJ for this slow start and them not looking good, and now they want to trade. Listen to how they talked about this trade.
LaVine reportedly being their top target. So LaVine, 2-time All-Star. He's averaging 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists this season while shooting a career-high 43% from 3. A trade for LaVine would likely include MPJ, but reports are the Nuggets are still unsure if they want to lose MPJ, with some of the other targets on their list not requiring him as a piece in a potential trade. But this summer, there were reports that the Nuggets were working on a trade, including MPJ and Zeke Naji, for Paul George that didn't end up happening, obviously, as PG went to the Sixers. But would you make a move for Zach LaVine if you were the Nuggets?
Yeah. For Michael Porter Jr.
You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would you do
I'd do that right now.
For sure.
Yeah, he can go get his own bucket. He don't need to he's not just a spotter. He shoots the ball just as well as, if not better, than Michael Porter, and he can go get his own shot. So he doesn't have to rely on for Nikola to get him buckets. So
and that's what the Nuggets express, at least according to reports, that they need.
Because you don't have anybody over there like that.
Yeah.
Like Jamal Murray relies on a lot on Nikola, getting him open because of his size. Zach LaVine can score on anybody. So I would definitely do it.
Yeah, Jamal Murray not available to be traded this season because of the extension he signed, but
that's fine.
I wouldn't get rid of him either.
I'll keep Jamal Murray.
LaVine and Murray can play together though?
Yes.
Yeah, same height?
Jokic.
Yes.
Jokic make it
because he can still spot up and make shots.
Exactly.
There you go.
Like when you run your action with Jamal Murray, you're doing all your shit you do with him, he can spot up and still make shots. But then if you need a bucket,
I was saying, is he a point guard though?
But if you need who?
Zach LaVine.
No.
No. Who the point guard over there? Kobe or him?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he was a point.
So, but no, I don't.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I would do that.
It would be cold for sure. I don't want that to happen.
if you're the Nuggets, would you trade Michael?
Why are we always talking about the Nuggets, man?
Yeah, we rarely talk.
So here's a red flag, right? So I'm gonna address two things that was said by Kenyon Martin, but here's a red flag for any superstar. When things go wrong, if a role player or a co-star ever gets blamed for a team not succeeding, but the superstar doesn't get blamed, that's a red flag. Right? It's always a red flag. That's almost like if I were a parent and I lead my household as a parent and as a husband. And when the money gets, I don't know, let's say I can't pay some bills for some reason, but I blame my son. Like how as a leader can anyone get the blame other than the leader? It's always a red flag in sports when something goes wrong with the team and everyone just skips right over the leader and goes to his help. That's a red flag. That's what they do for LeBron. They never blame LeBron. They always blame his help. Right now, they're doing it with Jokic. They never blame Jokic. They always blame his help. They're blaming Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Listen to what Kenyon Martin just said. He said that Zach LaVine is an upgrade from Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. can't get his own shot. That ain't even true. That's the role he plays in that offense. He's not authorized to have offense run through him. He's there. He's only there as a catch and shoot player. He's not authorized to do anything other than letting Jokic create everything. But he don't need Jokic. And for Kenyon to be a vet, a former max player, I would think that he would know that. MPJ don't need Nikola Jokic to set him up. He don't need that. Obviously, Nikola Jokic need him because when Michael Porter Jr. was hurt for the season and when Jamal Murray was hurt for the season, the Nuggets barely made the playoffs. And his assist numbers was down. So evidently, you need those shot makers. To say that Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray both can't get their own shot, they rely on Nikola Jokic to get their own shot, is one of the dumbest things I ever heard a pro basketball player say when they're assessing the game. How do you really think that Michael Porter Jr., who's a freaking microwave on offense, and Jamal Murray, who's a microwave offense, cannot get his own shot without daggone Nikola Jokic? That is insane to me. This is the example I like to give when it comes to the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. And I'm going to say this, and I'll open the phone lines up because I think there's a lot of people that might want to speak on this. If you look at big fundamentals of Nikola Jokic as a post player and as a very skilled player and a high IQ player, and then you look at Tim Duncan, who's the same thing, but on a higher level, big fundamentals, include defense in it, include actual consistent winning with it. You know, Tim Duncan's on another level, but same. Tim Duncan, Nikola Jokic. And then you look at Tim Duncan's co-star, who just happened to be a point guard, just like Nikola Jokic's co-star is a point guard. You got Jamal Murray and you got Tony Parker. Who's better? Not who had the better career, not who made the most all-stars, but like just assess their game. And do you think you think Jamal Murray is a lot worse than Tony Parker or on the same level, or is Tony Parker better, or is Jamal Murray better? But Tony Parker was the co-star of Tim Duncan. I've never heard Tony Parker get blamed for anything. Let's look at the third scoring option. On one end, it was Ginobili coming off the bench. On the other end is Michael Porter Jr. in the starting lineup. Who's a better scorer? 6'11" Michael Porter Jr., who shoots threes like Clay and who can post up and who can catch and shoot, or the wiggly, squirmy, herky-jerky, ball handling, great shooting, great passing, very high IQ Ginobili? That's a good question. That's a good debate. Michael Porter Jr. and Ginobili. But I never heard Ginobili get blamed when the San Antonio Spurs wasn't doing well. I never heard Tony Parker or Ginobili get blamed. So what I do know is there's a difference in how they run their offense. Tim Duncan didn't run the point. He had a point guard in Tony Parker. Why would Tim Duncan hunt assists down when Tony Parker can do it? Like Tony Parker can run the point guard, just like Jamal Murray can run the point guard. They're both capable. Why would Tim Duncan want that role? He's too smart to say, I want to be the point guard and get out the assists. Why? I'd rather just play defense, exert energy on defense. Right? That parallel you can look at. The only real difference is the play style. One of them playing real offense and real basketball and including defense, and the other one's not playing defense at all and playing triple-double basketball. Remember the example I showed y'all about hero ball versus real basketball? Right? And I told y'all, let me get this comment out the screen. I told y'all on the right side, players that played team ball: Kareem, Duncan, Jordan, Kobe, Magic. You got to pick a side. Do I want to be the primary scorer for my team, Or do I want to be the primary facilitator? If you're a point guard, like Magic Johnson was, it might behoove you to just concentrate on being the point guard, run the offense, get your assists, and make sure that your James Worthy and your Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are getting their points. And then, oh, by the way, as a point guard, since you can score, I can pick my spots when it's time for me to go get a bucket. That's what point guard play is all about. I'm not the primary scorer. I'm feeding my primary scorer. But I'm capable of scoring, so I will pick my points when I will go get those buckets. As a scoring wing, like Jordan or Kobe, are you going to be the primary scorer and the primary facilitator? Like LeBron? God forbid. Like Westbrook, like Harden, like Luka, like Caitlin Clark? God forbid. No. I'm going to concentrate on nothing but scoring. And then I'm going to concentrate on nothing but defense on the other end. And I'm going to let my point guard, whether it's Derek Fisher or my point forward, whether it's Scottie Pippen or Tony Kukoc or my point guard and Ron Harper, I'm going to let them concentrate on running the triangle offense and running the offense and making sure that me as the primary scorer get the ball where I like it. And as a big man as Tim Duncan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, neither one of them said, I also want to be the primary assist guy. No, I'm going to let Magic as my point guard do that. Or I'm going to let Tony Parker as my point guard or Avery Johnson as my point guard do that. Why the hell would I want that? But when you look on the left side, those are the people who play hero ball who have chose to do both roles primarily. I want to be the assist guy and the primary scorer primarily, which leaves my co-star nothing to do primarily. He's only secondary in both of those things. Only secondary in both of those things. That is not good basketball where you say, I'm going to give both of those important roles to one guy and make my co-star just figure it out. And then make my third star just figure it out and just be a catch and shoot guy. That's what Bosh was in that offense. That's what Kevin Love was in that offense. That's what Michael Porter Jr. is in Denver's offense. And now they want to trade him. And they think that bringing Zach LaVine in is going to change something. What's going to change? Is Zach LaVine going to have the ball in his hands more in Denver than he had in Chicago or less? Because Murray is still going to be the point guard, only secondary because Jokic is the primary. So Jokic is still going to run hero ball. Murray is still going to be secondary to hero ball. And LaVine is only swapping out himself for Michael Porter Jr. to operate in that catch and shoot role. He's not going to get other opportunities. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. What do we have when you play hero ball? More losing, more flopping, less defense, the fake GOAT, a lot of stats, some MVPs, and a lot of records. But on the side of playing real team basketball, where you choose a role, do you want to be the primary scorer or do you want to be the primary facilitator? Not both. You win more. It's more toughness over there. It's more defense. The GOAT is there. The GOAT point guard. The second best player I've ever seen. The GOAT power forward and the GOAT center are all on that side of team ball. I wonder why. And when you look at the list of people that play triple-double basketball, Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, LeBron, Luka, James Harden, they're all circled. They're all present. What they have in common, they all play hero ball. They all don't play defense, but they get triple-doubles. But they get triple-doubles. So, I'm interested. I'm interested in what y'all think. Phone line is open. Only 2 phone calls. People that disagree. Only people that disagree. Because there's a lot of y'all in the comment section. I want to hear a different perspective from what I just laid out. Do you like triple-double basketball? Do you like hero basketball? Do you like your best player being your primary facilitator and your primary scorer? Do you like your co-star to just get scraps? Do you like your third option to just be a catch and shoot player? Right? Answer all these questions for me. Caller from Florida.
No, it's Taco.
Taco, what's good, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm glad you called in because I think me and you had the most conversation about that because you got a slightly different opinion on this, and I want to hear it.
Yeah. And I'll say, I'll be the first one to say last night, Jokic was terrible. His defense was non-existent. You know, he had only 6 rebounds in that game. He gave up 15 offensive rebounds. That's why they lost, because of all the second chance points. And he did not do his job. Yeah, he got 34 points, but who cares? You lost the game by yourself.
Right.
It was very clear. But, sorry. I'm a little hot. Michael Porter Jr., they're only blaming him because he's the only person they can trade. The fans are not blaming him. They think he's progressing. He's developed a post game a little bit. He's going for layups at least now. He's actually playing ball. And none of the fans want to get rid of him, but they can't trade Murray. Aaron Gordon has big ties to the community, and all this crap gets posted on Facebook and stuff, so they don't want to trade him. So they have to pretend like Michael Porter Jr. is playing like crap when everybody can see he's second best player on the team right now. But the other thing is just Jokic. He has a lot of touches in the game because they pass the ball a lot, and he holds the ball. I think I posted on one of the videos. You guys can go back and try to find it. I think it's 2 seconds or a little bit more than 2 seconds every touch. And that's why he asked for Westbrook to see if they could get him, because he wanted a facilitator. Because he doesn't want to be the guy who has to do everything.
I can't tell.
Well, yeah, because he keeps having to. But if you watch the games, Murray and Westbrook always have 7 to 10 assists. They're getting in there, getting the balls through. And for some reason, I know why, because Jokic just sits under the paint. When he's on the bench, the reason that their defense is so bad is none of the players go into the paint, because that's where Jokic is standing. And they give up so many easy points with guys cutting right in there and getting dunks and stuff. And that's why the plus minus is so high for the rest of the team when he's on the bench, because they don't adapt. So while I disagree with the points you're making, I agree with your overall idea, because I think you're describing Luka and LeBron and Harden and all them. But while Jokic has the same effect, it's because the team is just leaning on it too much. They're leaving that spot where he's supposed to. Sorry, go ahead.
But that's what they say about Luka, LeBron, and Harden. They always said it was the team, but what it really is not really the team. The team looks like that because that's the offense they chose to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but so
I'm not blaming the team. I'm just saying the plan.
If the team was running the Princeton offense or the triangle, it wouldn't look like that. It looks like it looked like they're totally dependent on Jokic because they designed it to look like they're dependent on Jokic.
Yeah, especially like I said, their defense, because they just leave the paint open.
Yeah, but you know why their defense is lacking right now? Because they don't believe in the system no more. They're not having fun in that system anymore of Jokic doing everything and getting all the credit for everything. That's number one. And number two is how you got a defense when your last line of defense is just 7-footer who can't play above the rim and block shots.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong.
The effort's not there anymore. Those guys are not happy in that system anymore. They're not. And if you notice, it's always a shelf life on everyone who all the co-stars that play with LeBron, they eventually want out. Kyrie Irving wanted out, right? Wade was really frustrated. Bosh was frustrated. Love was frustrated. They always had to use the media to keep them in check. LeBron going publicly and said Kevin Love either fit in or fit out. You know, people always get tired in this offense, and always it wears them out, right? Ty Lue he had to take 2 weeks off because he was so stressed out coaching that offense and coaching LeBron. James Harden Dwight Howard only lasted 2 years with him. CP3 only lasted 2 years. Westbrook lasted 1 year. Carmelo Anthony lasted half a year. You cannot. Kyrie Irving, his time ain't came yet, but then what he had to get up out of there. Porzingis had to leave Luka. Right? Superstars can't play in this system long. It's tiring. They don't like it. Too much credit going to one guy, and we're making him look good more than he's making us look good. And it wears people thin. That's what's going on. That's what you're seeing with Denver. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and that's definitely fair, and it's very clear from watching the game, the last 2 games, that something just seems lacking. Like even Westbrook would like come in and bring up the energy of the team. It doesn't feel like that's really happening anymore. Like he has the energy, but nobody else is really, picking up anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it, man. I appreciate the call, Taco, man. I love when people call and have a different perspective on it. You know what I mean? I know we're gonna continue to have a difference of opinion when it comes to Jokic, man. But it is what it is. But he proved me wrong the year he was able to put it all together and make that historic championship run. I had to shut my mouth that whole entire year. You know what I mean? But like Debo, man, when he leave, I'll be talking again. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep talking my spit while Jokic is losing. But when he turn it all around, I'm gonna have to shut up and kiss the ring a little bit, man. So I'll be fair.
Not even that. As long as he starts getting those rebounds up, because this was just sad.
It was, man. It was. They gotta turn it around, man. They all getting disinterested. But all right, man. I'm gonna get one more call in before I move to the last topic.
Yep.
All right, thanks, bro. All right, let's get one more call, y'all. That's Taco, y'all, man. Taco is a VIP faithful, man. And a moderator, man. He's here every time, man. That's my guy. That's my guy, man. Let's get one more call in, y'all. Somebody that disagree with what I was saying about Jokic and Hero Ball and Michael Porter Jr. and trading and all that stuff. Call in. Yeah, shout out to Taco. Kente GUS 8, aka Super High. He said that's cap. Call in and tell me where the cap is at. Where is the cap? It's a cap on my head. There's a call from Nevada. Caller from Nevada, man. What is your name?
How's it going, my friend? My name's Daryl.
Gerald or Durrell?
Daryl with a D.
Daryl, what's going on, brother?
Pretty good. Hey, I'm a big fan of the show. Want to just say, I'm a Celtics fan, so I've been a Celtics fan since the 80s with Larry Bird. Reggie Lewis is my favorite player. So pretty much I'm a diehard NBA fan. So, I think Denver's problem is there's never been a standard to win for a lot of these smaller markets. Because if you look at like the Celtics and Lakers, it's all about hanging banners. Mm-hmm. So what the problem with Denver is the front office jacked up the team. Got rid of Jeff Green. What's the other dude? Brown.
Bruce
got rid
Brown,
of him.
Caldwell Pope.
Yeah. Yep. Those were your dogs.
Correct.
You look at Denver, the pieces don't fit. Who plays defense besides Eric Gordon? Murray don't play defense.
Nope.
Jokers don't play defense.
Nope.
The pieces don't fit.
Nope.
That's their problem.
That's true.
And then my other thing is, I understand everybody doesn't like today's NBA, but I have a 17-year-old kid. I can't tell my son to play basketball like it's 1984. So I understand people's gripes, but let's not romanticize the era in the 90s or the 2000s, because people didn't like Allen Iverson. People called the hip hop era the thug era. People complain about the Malice in the Palace. People didn't like the Pistons. And I think if you go back and look at the 90s, there was a playoff game between the Pacers and Knicks, right?
Right.
And I remember watching that game, and I'm watching two teams score. Brady struggled to score 70 points in an NBA game.
Right.
And I get it.
But I appreciated that game though. I appreciated games like that. Because but this is the thing. The only people who need, all right, I use this analogy. Some people can eat strawberries just fresh off of a vine, and some people got to add some sugar to their strawberries, right? So when you eat or vegetables, some people can eat their greens without adding a bunch of salt or whatever, fat back or whatever the case may be. But some people need that flavor in there. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what your taste is and what your palate is. People who really enjoy basketball understands that 50% of the basketball game is defense.
Yeah.
So if great defense is being played where teams can't score is easy, you appreciate that as well. Same as football. If great defense is being played, you appreciate a Pittsburgh versus the Baltimore Ravens game when there's a lot of hits and crackbacks and blocking and running and punting and a lot of defense. You appreciate that too. That's entertaining as well to someone who really loves the sport.
Yeah.
But for someone who really don't love the sport, of someone who really don't love fruits and vegetables, they need a little salt or a little sugar added to it so they can taste it and stomach it. Right.
If I can make this point.
Go ahead.
Because like I said, don't get me wrong, I like balance. I wish I was balanced, but I understand again that the game is going to change. And I'm saying fans sometimes flip flop on the errors because fans always complained about the style of play.
Those weren't fans that was complaining about defense back then.
Yeah, no, but I'm just as far as
weren't fans. The only thing I felt like was not a good balance was the era where they was playing football on the basketball court, where they was tackling people out of midair.
Yeah.
Where they was fighting like it was hockey.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When it was too much. When they changed it to, okay, we'll still let y'all play physical, but we go put more balance where we're not letting y'all play flagrantly.
Yeah.
That started in the 90s, and that was a beautiful blend of offense and defense. And it went all the way into the early 2000s. So that's why I call it the golden age. That was the perfect blend of offense and defense, the perfect blend of lemonade and sweet tea called Arnold Palmer. All right.
Yeah.
That was
I agree with that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I agree with that because
it's just all offense.
Oh yeah, and I agree 100%. But I feel like as adults, like if you want to change the game, take action, create your own club team, teach these kids how to play inside out. Because as adults, I feel like we're to blame. That's why I said, not one person that's, let's say, on the chat or watches your show can tell my son, hey, go play basketball like it's 1984. Kids are going to play basketball based upon his era. My son is 6'5". He can dribble the ball, he can play defense, he can shoot, but it's positionless basketball. I can't tell him, hey,
Daryl, I don't like that phrase of positionless basketball. What's the definition of a position? What's your definition of a position?
Well, right now, the way they play basketball is
no. What's your definition of a position?
Oh no, so I believe like power forward, center guard. That's from top position. But I talk positionless basketball.
So what's like just outside of sports? What does position mean? That means
I believe right.
That means a place. That means a particular place, right?
Yeah.
If I say if I say, hey, look, we're going to corner the suspect, get in position. I'm telling you to go to a particular spot. So in a particular spot relative to another place or another spot. So when you talk about positions on the basketball court, you're talking about a particular spot relative to the basketball goal. So
correct.
If I say what position is the center, you're going to show me an area on the basketball court, correct?
Correct.
All right. So it's not positionless. It's just that they took out two positions. They took out center and power forward and got rid of it. And now it's 5 guards. So it's not it's not positionless. It's just one position.
Yeah. Well, that's
guard.
What I'm saying. But
everyone's playing guard.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to that. Pretty much there's no power forward. It's just everybody just playing guard. So he could be the toughest kid on the floor. But let's say if they trap the guard, you get to him, and let's say he's playing against a kid that's much slower. It's just a 5-out offense now, where everybody's trying to find the weakest person on the perimeter and go 1-on-1, and then let the defense collapses. I kick it to whoever's open. So that's my thing. Is I think as adults, I'm just saying We should teach kids how to play inside, outside, and not just play a 5-guard out offense. That's what I'm saying. Because I like the balance, but I'm just saying, how do you teach kids to play something when the adults are coaching them, let's say from youth all the way up to, let's say, high school, the college, and into the pros? Because you got to remember, like, what's the one guy from Indiana, Hibbert? Remember, he was a solid defensive center.
Mm-hmm.
But when they played, what team was that? Was it Toronto? Mark Gasol was killing him from the perimeter because he was pulling him away from the basket. Because Hibbert was taught how to run to the paint, protect the basket. So, that was the issue right there. Or just say like with Dallas, with Steve Nash. They would have, I think like the second team I remember that came into the league where you had Stoudemire, who's really a power forward, he was playing center. And then Tony didn't want no big man. But that was called deciding back then. And then today, everybody's like crashing on it. Well, but 20 years ago, everybody said, oh, okay, well, Phoenixton was deciding. Same way with Dallas, when they tried to have, Dirk and 2 other guys, they weren't centers. Maybe if you want to look at their height, but they tried to have 3 big men shoot 3-pointers to pull Shaq away from the basket, and it didn't work. So that's my thing with the fans. Sometimes it's the flip-flop. But how do you get the kids to play basketball the way you want? That's my issue.
I mean, it's all right. So that's a valid point, but the trainers and the coaches are coaching based on what they see in the NBA, because the ultimate goal of all these kids is to get to the NBA. They're not playing basketball just for free college education. They actually want to go all the way with it. So you have to mimic what you do in high school to match what's going on in the NBA. Just like in the 90s when it was very physical, you had to mimic what you did in high school based on what you wanted your players to be ready for in the NBA. Right. So they're only mimicking what they're doing in the league. So I would like to say it starts with us at the ground level on what we're teaching them, but it really starts with the NBA as well, because they set the tone for everyone.
Okay. And then I have one more point if I may ask you this one. Or what do you think about this? Is my theory. So I think the NBA was telling the fans where they really wanted to go back in the 90s once they sent the dream team over. A lot of people don't know this, and this is just me, but David Stern has always wanted the NBA to go global.
Correct.
His dream was always for the NBA to merge with teams overseas.
Correct.
Now, this is one thing I think that will happen is Seattle will get an NBA team. Vegas is getting an NBA team. Nobody can deny that one.
Yep.
And then Mexico City will be the third team. And then after that, the NBA will merge with teams overseas.
I agree.
So that's the thing with the NBA is they adapted to the European game. Nobody wants to admit that. Because you look at most of your big men from overseas, they all played away from the basket. They didn't want to go down there and grind with Shaq or Elijah Wan or Ewing or David Robinson. So what they do, we take away the post play, take away your hand checks, take away the physicality.
Yep.
If everybody's shooting threes, everybody got a chance to win.
Yep.
So I think that's the thing that I think fans don't really want to admit. Everybody hates Adam Silver, but David Stern always wanted the game to go overseas.
Yeah. No, that's true. No, you're right. You're right. 100%.
Because he did promote the Spurs. He tried to promote the Spurs, but the fans never liked the Spurs unless you was a San Antonio fan. And that's my issue with the NBA is that
I love the
like
Spurs. They had a beautiful brand of basketball. I loved it.
Yeah, but to the casual fan, they didn't like the Spurs because they wasn't deciding.
And we don't like casual fans either.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the NBA is they market superstars, but they only market really, let's say, 3 teams: Lakers, the Celtics, and maybe the Knicks. The rest of the league, I'm gonna keep it real. We don't care about small market teams. It's all about the Celtics, the Lakers, and maybe the Knicks. That's it.
That's a fact.
The Bulls, take away the Jordan era, that's a trash organization. Let's call it what it is.
Right.
It's a trash organization.
Right.
But that's the thing. And I'm a big Celtics fan, but I'm also an NBA fan. But let's keep it real. Jason Tatum is too nice, and that's the problem with him. I love Jaylen Brown, but he keeps it too real. But if you think about it, there really is no face to the league once LeBron retires. So everybody can say they hate LeBron. I understand. But LeBron is must-see TV because he keeps everybody talking about him.
No,
but how can nobody talk about?
He's not must-see TV no more.
Well, yeah, true that. But you constantly hear that name jumping around. But my thing is this.
But I would like not to hear it. He's not must-see TV, bro. He's just
I agree.
He's just got too good at keeping his name alive in there. He's not must-see TV. He's forcing himself on people. He's not must-see.
I agree with you.
If he retired yesterday, I would not miss it. I doubt that I would ever be sitting back like, man, I miss them days when LeBron. No, that's not gonna happen. I promise you that.
No, I agree, and I'm not a LeBron fan either. So I wish the league would talk about the Tatums and Browns, these other stars like Anthony Edwards. But I get it. Like you got LaMelo Ball, he's in Charlotte. Nobody's watching Charlotte. You got Halliburton, nobody's watching Indiana, right? So
Halliburton mid.
Yeah, nobody's watching Halliburton. And like, look at Giannis. You see young kids wearing Giannis jersey?
No, I don't see no kids wearing no jerseys, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But Giannis is a good player, but he plays in Milwaukee. Nobody cares about the Milwaukee Bucks. That's why I just think the NBA just has a problem where they need to market their stars, but the problem is, unless you play in LA or Boston, you just don't get marketed.
Yeah, I mean that's all that issue's always been there, and it didn't matter because the league was still getting watched. The league's not getting watched at the same pace or the same rate as it used to be. The basketball product is the first thing that needs to get fixed. You can worry about all that other stuff later.
Yeah, I agree. They need to fix it, but it's just how do you fix it? But I just think it just starts with the adults and stuff like that. But I just think it just starts with us because, I never agreed with the direction the NBA was trying to go. I get it because then it kind of goes to another topic, but it just, I agree. It should be post play, but it's just they want to see it where it's like the European play, where the European players come over here and they feel like they can have a chance to win because let's be real. How many guys, let's say, want to bang with Shaq down low? Jokic would not be down low with Shaq. If Shaq was in his prime, he would not be down there.
Not for long. Yeah. Not the way he be crying because he got scratches tattooed on his biceps and try to make it look like somebody scratching him. Like them scratches been there for 7 years, man. Like in the same spot. But I appreciate the call, man. Let me get out of here, man. I'm gonna get to this last topic so I can end this show.
Hey, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you letting me call in and discuss basketball
man.
with you.
Thanks for the call.
I hope I can call back and discuss more with you.
All right, no doubt. Anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
All
right. C Hill in the cash out. He said, "Keep going, bro." With the fire emojis, man. You already know I'm gonna keep going, man. I appreciate the cash out, bro. Yeah, appreciate that, man. What else we got? We got a couple of super chats. Brandon Love Sports, $2 super chat. He said Gil needs to stop talking hoops. Michael Silber, is it possible their Steph Warriors demo, there's less opportunity for refs to tightly manipulate scores through selective foul calling with threes versus twos? Is it possible there's less opportunity for refs to tightly manipulate? No, I think the refs still can manipulate the games through foul calls for sure. And they will continue to manipulate them because they got to now because Vegas is a partner. And Vegas is not in the business of losing money. So whatever the outcome's supposed to be, that's probably what you're going to get. Right. So is it possible that they can manipulate it less? No, I don't think so. I think they still got the same amount of control over the games as they've always had. That's how they operate their business in the NBA. The referees can dictate a lot in the basketball game. So we're going to get to our last topic, and this is a Michael Jordan topic. This is Penny Hardaway being on Draymond Green's podcast and being asked about LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and who the GOAT was at all that. And the unique perspective that Penny has is that he came in as a second-year player and was playing Michael Jordan wearing that number 45 for the first time. So he got a taste of that Michael Jordan that was rusty, and they put them out of the playoffs. And then he got to see Michael Jordan come back a year later and sweep them in the playoffs, and then go on to do a three-peat and take back over the league like he never left. He also got to see young Kobe come in and mimic his game out the mic and actually pull it off. And he had face-to-face battles with young Kobe. And there was a conversation about who was better between him and Kobe. And then Kobe made it clear that he was on another level. And then toward the end of his career, he got an opportunity to play against LeBron, Ramon, James, So he had that unique opportunity and perspective. He also played against Magic Johnson when Magic came back, but Magic only came back for 2 or 3 games. And of course, he wasn't himself no more. He was overweight, playing power forward. It was different, right? But listen to how he broke down the GOAT.
You played against MJ, you played against Cole, and I think you played against Bron, right?
Against who? Bron. Y'all played Bron, and I played against Magic.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I played against
That's
Magic.
insane.
He came back for a couple games, and then he went right back out. He didn't even stay. He came back during that season. So I got a chance to play against all those dudes, man.
So tell me, like, those guys, a lot of people talk about those guys being in the GOAT conversation. How do you look at that? Like, what do you, if you say, this guy's the best or that guy's the best, how do you look at the whole GOAT conversation?
Because I view it differently, right? Because LeBron got the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You got MJ, who had this innate way of just hitting 50 whenever he wanted and was crazy with it and winning championships, undefeated in finals. And then you had Kobe, who mimicked MJ, who had IQ, who had toughness, and who had shot-making ability and won championships himself. So I put them in those categories. So LeBron is the numbers guy. He got the numbers. Like, that's the guy. You got to give him that. MJ, being a guy undefeated in the finals, a guy that was, first team all defense, I can't remember how many times. I mean, come on, man. That's the GOAT to me.
For sure.
And then Kobe being a fearless warrior and champion who mimicked his game after MJ. It's like you gotta have all of them 1A, but in their own different ways to me. And I'm not being political on that because LeBron is a power forward pretty much. Kobe's 2 guard, MJ's 2 guard. But Kobe mimicked his game after MJ, and Kobe did a hell of a job mimicking that dude.
He did.
He did it.
He was a dog.
He did it.
Rest in peace to Kobe.
He did
It's crazy.
hell of a job carbon copying MJ.
That's a fact.
It's like that. It's almost like you're trying to carbon copy the impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to actually do it.
So, yeah, and to do it. So what Kobe had, what MJ had over Kobe was so different, or I should say Kobe's approach versus MJ's approach. MJ was like, I'm giving all y'all at 70. Like, if I go to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, he did that 50-50-50, I don't know how, 2 or 3 times in his career. Think about going 50-50-50, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. What Kobe did when he had problems was, I'm marking Penny Hardaway down on my list. I'm marking Baron Davis down on my list. I'm putting Gary Payton on my list. I'm putting all these top dudes on my list, and I'm going to knock them off one by one. MJ never said, he said, I ain't doing none of that. I'm just coming in and I'm killing y'all. So Kobe had to start off a little slower. Rookie year, he kind of struggled a little bit. Beat a year in LA. And then you knew he was coming, though. But he made this list of names, and boy, did he scratch off all. He scratched all the names off that list.
He did. And then, man,
I like the way he kind of, talked about all 3 of them and gave all of them their flowers, and he put all of them 1A, right? I don't agree 100% with them all being 1A. But and he said he wasn't trying to be political, but he was being political, right? But this is the unique thing. When people try to be really honest and give LeBron his props, they always sound a little bit goofy, right? Because you talk about how great Kobe was as a player and how much like Mike he was, and you talk about how great Mike was and how it led to 6 championships and stuff like that. So when you talk about Mike and Kobe, the 2 main points is their approach to the game, their will to win, how fierce they were as competitors, how often they won versus how often they lost, and how good their game was individually. You talk about all of those things, right? And then when you start talking about LeBron's, it gets reduced down to stats and numbers. And then sometimes you get people that's really ridiculous that might get down to like philanthropy, parenting, how good you are as a husband, how much he done for the community, player empowerment. Like, you start talking about things that got nothing to do with basketball, or you just talk about stats with LeBron. And I kind of want to throw this out there that that's how we're going to remember. We're going to remember LeBron for the stat guy, not the winner. We remember Jordan for the winner and Kobe for being just like Jordan, who's a winner. We remember Jordan for being a complete player on both sides of the floor for his entire career and winning. And we remember Kobe for being just like Jordan, complete player on both ends of the floor and winning. And then when we get to LeBron, we're not going to remember him for winning because we're going to remember the winning that he did. He cheated with super teams and media manipulation and league manipulation and trades and coaching firings and all this maneuvering and all of these things, and we just don't respect it. And even if you don't consciously know you don't respect that, you just can't mention it when you make a case for them. You end up just mentioning stats, which is another manipulation tactic that if I just take whatever I need to take to keep my body intact and just play forever, eventually I get all of these stats accumulated. And when I get all these stats, the people that I got in the media have all the ammo they need to go and fight for me as the GOAT or in the GOAT conversation, at least. This is all manipulation tactics. This is all maneuvering, strategically placing people in the media, making a media company, making a agency, getting players that's under your agency that can speak up for you and say these things, and plan forever so you can get numbers. Instead of doing what Kobe did and saying that I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to work as hard, if not harder than Michael Jordan, so I can make my game just as crisp, just as complete, just as good as his. And then I'm going to take that complete game, display it on the court, and let the chips fall where they may. Because it ultimately is about winning. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant wanted to win so bad that they made themselves as close as perfect as possible as a basketball player. LeBron didn't want to win that bad. LeBron wanted to be the GOAT. Kobe and Mike wanted to win. LeBron wanted to be the GOAT. So all of his efforts was going toward how can I be the GOAT? And all Kobe was trying to do was be the best player he could possibly be and win. Right? So no phone calls on this one. I did get one last cash out. Lamont White, $5 cash out. Appreciate it. He said hilarious. Eventually it comes down to philanthropy. Eventually it does, right? But I appreciate y'all tuning in for the entire show, man. We just not getting about at 3 hours. Not taking phone calls on this one because I know y'all call in to absolutely cook LeBron, and I'll be on here another daggone 30 minutes. And so y'all can go ahead and finish the conversation in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all in here watching. Make sure you hit the share button as well. Don't forget to support us by supporting the brands that sponsor us, and that is Cali Strong. Go to their website, use the promo code ManDownSports. And also when you play any parlay, make sure you're using Underdog and you're using the promo code ManDownSports on Underdog, and that helps us out as well. I got a phone call coming in. I'll take it before I leave. Caller from New Jersey. What's your thought?
Hey, what's going on, brother Nelson Clayton from New Jersey? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. What you got? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man, great show, man. Great show. But you know, there's some key things. There's a few key things that we didn't talk about on here, and I didn't catch all of the show because I'm in and out. But the mental aspect, LeBron was never strong mentally, ever. I don't think at any given point. Now, there's been a game or two where he showed mental toughness. For example, the game when he was in Miami against Boston, and he told you he did the so-called my thing, just give me the ball and get the F out the way. That was the only time I ever seen him play in what we call around the hood, that's a God mode, where there's nobody that can guard you.
Right.
And that's what he did against Boston that one game. It's the only time I ever seen him play like that.
He did it against Detroit as well.
And even Detroit, yes. Let's not leave that out, Detroit too. But other than that, mentally, he's not strong. He's really weak. He doesn't know how to. If my shooting game is off, I'm gonna go do all the other things, which he really doesn't. He doesn't do those other things. He's just off. He's like, whatever. He just goes with the game and still want to try to stat pad as we always call it. But he doesn't really focus. Okay, you know what? Our shot's not falling. Let me lock this guy. Let me lock this guy down to the best of my ability. Because if I'm not going to have the points, I got to see to it that he's not getting points.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's like the best version of LeBron, and I'm not a LeBron fan, but the best version of LeBron I've ever enjoyed, besides the Cleveland one when he first got there, is Miami, because that's when his game I thought was evolving. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I thought playing in Miami, his game was starting to evolve a little more, playing under that system. But I guess, you took it and learned the system, manipulated it, and then just chose, hey, I'm going to find a cheat way to do it.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did. Yep.
Not good at all. And he doesn't get my respect. I mean, he's a great player. I don't count numbers. I don't care about the numbers because the defense, you'll always get your numbers.
Yeah.
Just do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
So definitely keep up the great work, brother. Blessings to you and your family. Happy holiday.
All right, you too, bro.
All right now.
Yep. All right, y'all. That was a good call. But yeah, all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And I'll catch y'all on the next stream, man. Peace.